Brewers TV with the call summing it up perfectly. Now it's up the California coast to Los Angeles, where the Dodgers await. Tonight's series opener begins at 9:10. Shane Drowan pitches against Roki Sasaki. Milwaukee's lead in the Central down to 3 after the Cubs won again 12-6 at Washington. And tonight, the Packers open up their preseason against Mike McCarthy and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Diller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the ball y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Get our guys after and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh my God, this man's been out all night.
and Armin Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
It's the Thursday edition. No, check that. It's the game day edition of the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. That's right. After so many days wandering in the wilderness, we've got Green Bay Packers professional tackle football this evening. Now it's preseason professional tackle football. Kind of an important caveat there.
Large one to put in. Yes, it is.
Right.
It is a
Nonetheless, the Packers will be cavorting on national television. We're here for it. Drew Wilson, Bill Schmid, Armin Sarian. We welcome all of our favorite insomniacs, early risers, sociopaths, wait for the health club to open. Everybody who calls himself proudly a 5 o'clock club member, welcome in. Let's get it today.
And let's get ready to see real Green Bay Packers players playing football tonight and potentially for one last time lining up against one of the greatest players in the franchise's history. Drew, kickoffs are rarely do they live up to the billing. And this one most likely won't because we don't necessarily know if Aaron Rodgers will trot out in that 8 jersey tonight. He might just have a sweet hoodie on. There might be a lot of talk about how much Jordan Love might play. He might throw 3 passes, but there's going to be some Brandon Cisse sightings, a lot of good ones to discuss, and a lot of fun to watch coming up and listen to, starting up at 6.
Oh, baby. Packers OT this evening. Packers, if you're listening to us at 920 in Milwaukee, rip off the knob. Packers will be right here
there
for you. 95.7 as well. Statewide network will be on Packers OT. Locally, we'll have Russ Douglas. Doug Russell will fire up the programming day beginning at 2 o'clock.
You better believe it. Yes. Packers game day. We'll start up at 2 o'clock
and then Packers preview
yep.
with Dennis Krause and Mike Heller back in the fold, along with Wes Hodkowitz.
Come on now.
James Jones. And then we'll helm Packers OT after we have Wayne and Larry and John Kuhn on the broadcast, along with a sprinkling of Shanna Quinn.
Beautiful.
Shanna tonight with us. I don't get to see her very often because our hours are different, but we get to hang out tonight here at headquarters watching the Packers play the Steelers. And is anybody else find it interesting? Here we are, Rodgers, the vitriol's not there. The juice isn't there. It's the preseason. Even if it was the regular season, though, he's been gone. This is the 4th year. And we're used to Jordan Love now. We've moved on. And it's like seeing your ex. It's like, moved on. Happy now with our current relationship, situationship, more or less. And wish him the best. But the weirdness about Rodgers, his McAfee things, and just the weirdness of as basic as, is he going to play tonight? Like, generally speaking in the NFL, they're like, that we're going to play this guy this many snaps. Like, that's not, you don't keep secrets. There's no subterfuge in the preseason, right? Now, there's a lot of layers to this. Does Aaron Rodgers need to play? Hell no.
No.
Are the Packers going to, under Jonathan Gannon, going to unveil any wrinkle that's going to help him in a month? No. Does he need snaps under the lights at, a Creasier Stadium? No, he's played there before. There's like no benefit.
You want to get him used to the stage of the
playing on national TV at night. Like, he's never done that in his career. 22 years. Like,
we want to get you comfortable playing at this level.
Intellectually, you can make no reason for him to play. Like, the culture of the team, is it going to be impacted if he plays? No. I just don't think there is any reason.
Yeah, I mean, it is a brand new head coach and a brand new coaching staff for the first time there in 2 decades. So, like, I think for that part of the organization, there could be a little bit different
for
stuff.
the other guys, but for Aaron?
But if you're going to be the quarterback of the team, then if there's something to, like, that guy being a part of it, I get it that he's 42 years old and he's played everything
seen everything,
in football,
he's played everything.
Right.
And
but he hasn't with these guys and with this organization, with this coach at this time. So I get it if he would play, but I also totally understand.
And that's where the weirdness comes in, because you get Mike McCarthy saying, "Oh, Aaron's begging to play." And then Rodgers like, "No, that's not real football. I don't really care. It's like, if they play me, fine. If they don't play me, it doesn't matter. It's not real football."
Well,
it doesn't sound like guys begging to play.
Cool. Yeah,
no, but I again, like, this is also
reality?
the exact same thing that you hear when Jordan Love will go into week number 3 of Jordan. Do you think that you should play? Do you want the guys to play? Well, if they're football players, so they should be ready to play. They're football players. They should be ready to play. And then how many times do they not play? So, like, again, if you're acting like this is the only time there's secrecy around the NFL or a weird situation.
Secrecy. It's just
this is how teams handle it. What's the weirdest thing in the NFL right now? The fact that there's a freaking future Hall of Famer practicing with an NFL team and nobody seems to care. My man's just not under contract, working out with the team at the facility right after practice in the same city that we're right now looking into a circumvention of the salary cap. Interesting deal there. Interesting thought there.
Yeah.
Interesting thought.
That's
Inside the same complex in Inglewood on the same damn near plot of land. There's a lot of weirdness in the National Football League. This one is near the bottom on my totem pole of weirdness, though.
I just don't get why both teams can't decide, like, with a gentleman's agreement. We just play patty cake the first couple series.
I've said that for years, that they should let the quarterbacks wear red jerseys and then play them and make these things somewhat watchable.
Well, you have joint practice for that, though,
I know,
right?
but you have but they can do it. And, you can make a case that joint practices are more compelling television broadcasts than the actual games they run out there,
because they play harder
on these primetime slots. So I've said that for years. Put the quarterbacks in red jerseys and then just flying the hell out of anybody who plays. Because the only thing that would keep you from playing a Jordan Love or an Aaron Rodgers, they are football players, is the idea that some jabron who's trying to make a team,
fear of injury,
who's playing, trying to make a name for himself, will wipe them out. But
that also too. Now we found out over the last week that it's not just no-name guys that would do it. It's also like the best pass rushers in football of Max Crosby apparently just hits guys in red jerseys his entire career. And apparently now finally somebody claps back with 300 million. Said, "Buddy, you're not hitting me. I have a red jersey on for a reason." So everybody's rules of engagement end up being different.
Don't get in the sphere where you might hit their hand.
I mean, right? I don't know if you ended up seeing Hard Knocks. Mike McDonald, Derek Hall, they just gave almost $100 million to one of their star edge rushers. He kicked him out of practice and said, "Hey, looks like I'm running the practice. Looks like I'm in charge. No, you're going to stay away from the quarterback." And that's a defensive guy yelling at his defensive players. Stay off the quarterback. And if you don't listen to me back-to-back times, you're gone.
Yeah, because some guys can't turn it off that easily. That's just the way their mentality is. The Wayne Simmons of the world.
But the whole thing with Rodgers, unless they meet in the Super Bowl, Packers and Steelers, which highly unlikely.
No, but let's pray for that, because that would be good. That would be good.
But tonight, if he plays a series, give you any sense of closure? Or I'm going to ask Armin, because he's the geekiest fan of all geeky fans. Does it give you any tingle that Rodgers is playing against the Packers and throwing passes?
It'd give me a tingle, but not a big overall closure, big moment. But if it was in Lambeau, maybe a little bit more. But no. However, I would say it's still cool though. Like, it doesn't have to be. It reminds me, this is the goofiest example. It's like when Jeff Saturday in the Pro Bowl took that snap, changed sides, and took that snap from Peyton. It was a cool moment for those guys and for the fans, but it was goofy, but it was kind of cool for a second.
Cool for a second.
I mean, that's all we're living in, though. We're living for moments in life. I mean, this is a moment. Like, he could be out there, take a couple passes, come off, and give up. Maybe give up. There's no players he played with, but
you will be marginally not even thrilled. You will not even be like at half mast in terms of your two lessons.
I'll be more interested in him playing that series than anybody else would.
Well, here's the thing. So,
that's my point, I guess.
I'm looking at the counterbalance of it, though. Like the excitement you feel if you see Aaron Rodgers play a series or maybe two against the Packers tonight, that
as opposed to Will Howard,
which will wane.
Yeah.
How does that compare to the disappointment you'll feel if he doesn't play?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
what I mean?
It's not. Yeah,
so
it's not like I'll be devastated.
So it's like
No
there's a line and you're a couple centimeters on one side of the line and a centimeter or two on the other side of the line. It's like, I don't care if he plays. If he plays, it'd be kind of cool. Like, I'll watch it. Like,
I'd always rather see interesting players on the field.
But again, isn't the storyline? Don't we always say that the league is a soap opera about quarterbacks? Yeah. So again, like whether or not it's an inch on one side or another, that position is totally different than everybody else. It draws way more eyes. It would be far different and so much better if it was at Lambeau. And Rodgers met with the media yesterday, the Green Bay media, said it with Packers reporters, and Rob Demovsky wrote out, it said, how much different had he hoped it was in Green Bay? He said 100%. When I heard it was possible for my two former to play my two former teams, I was really hoping this was going to be in Green Bay, not just to go back to Lambeau one more time. Head out to Chives for dinner. Maybe out to Green Bay Country Club for a quick 9 or something. I was hoping it was going to be in Green Bay for a lot of reasons, but it was going to be strange and being in that visitor's locker room. But I would have found my way over there like so many former players over the years. I see some of the guys, some of the trainers, equipment staff, all the people I really care about that still work there. Yeah, I was definitely bummed out that we weren't in Lambeau for this one. And that was a massive drop of the ball by the NFL. And not to be able to just say, hey, why don't we just swap one of these things through?
Yeah.
You guys we'll make this date up. Will be an IOU. We'll make this date up coming up next year. But let's slide that thing over here. If for anything, entertainment purposes only, it's on the NFL Network. ESPN would have been able to make that string be pulled.
Now, again, with all the caveats that there's like no upside really for him playing. And the risk isn't worth the reward, and there's no juice there. Not, the fans in Pittsburgh, do they need to see him for a series or two? They'll get over it. That's the preseason. It's you buy your ticket, you take your chances, right? You're going to see understudies and reserves and guys that aren't bottom of the roster guys. But had the game been in Lambeau, would he have for sure played?
Then I think he for sure would have come out and at least took the opening snap, right? Yeah. Given a farewell,
first series,
do a series, maybe even come out in the middle and do a wave. Yes.
But that's just it. You won't get that tonight. That's not on the table. So to me, it's like I'm going into this saying he ain't playing.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like again, they're also in a spot where again they come in with a new coach. Like all the people that you said that don't need to see him play. I think the one guy that might want to see him play is the highly successful football coach.
Yeah,
right. Like
he's trying to get ready for a season.
So there's and Mike has played people in the preseason, albeit until 2015 when that one kind of shifted around. And you look into what they did in Dallas; they played a lot in the preseason under him as well. So like, you look at some of the guys of how they do business. A lot of times they do. It'll be interesting to see if he does. Yes, you are 1,000% right. It will not change how the rest of the game goes, but that's generally speaking for preseason football, because even Pat Mahomes probably plays more than any quarterback in the preseason. Last I checked, his results in the regular season were pretty good. Maybe there's some kind of correlation there. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. But he'll probably play the most out of anybody and maybe play 3 series in the first one. So we all understand what we're signing up for tonight.
My opinion on this always has been this: like, you can use discretion, and it's smart to do that. So you can play guys and try to keep them as much as you can out of harm's way while still trying to get productive work in. Because if you're just going to bubble wrap them all the time, why even practice? And a lot of NFL teams don't practice as much as they used to. But you have to find a balance and a fine line between preparation and risk management. But there is a fine line. Like, it does go both ways. I mean, Aaron, I know it was just for fooling around and he wasn't getting hit, but Aaron was like playing defensive edge at Steelers practice. Like, it might have just been funny, and I get it, and he wasn't getting touched and stuff like that. But
you talking about the walkthrough?
He was. All these cut-ups.
Yeah.
I'm like, can also
when he's got the beanie on.
He's got the red beanie on, but you can also call plays from that pretty much will protect him from getting in harm's way. You're not going to call rollouts, but you can still get him a series or 2, or 1 series or 3 plays and make sure he's protected. So I think there's a fine line between totally not playing at all and finding a way to manage the risk, because they are going to prepare to play a season, and whether or not, people believe it, he can just wake up and run the offense. I know he can, but how effective can he be? How much does he want to get a sweat on, a workout in? That's always going to be the case. So I think it's okay if he plays a little bit.
We can get you a workout in the indoor, but I will. The fascinating one going forward, and to hear somebody do it, like lead CBS football analyst JJ Watt yesterday on DP on these same airwaves just a couple hours after we were done. He said, you got to play football to be good at football. So you got to practice football to be good at football. Dan's like, well, what did you do to maybe get yourself out of training camp at all? Get yourself out of those practices if it sucks so bad. JJ Watt, dude. You think I was trying to get out of practice?
Yeah.
I was always about it. I hated it, but I was always about it. You got to be able to play to improve. And the math of the 30 reps in the preseason, those guys stay healthier going forward. I'm very, very interested to see where the NFL got that data and pumped it out to all their own NFL teams. I would just love to know. Very convenient to find that data when you got to be able to cram in some more content and get all these games on your streaming package. Make sure everybody can watch all of them. So we'll see. I would be really surprised, though, if there's not a large sum of Packers starters. And if Jordan Love is out there playing, most likely the first team offensive line is going, because you're not putting him behind some makeshift unit.
I was going to say, who on the Packers has the status that you'd bubble wrap him? Xavier McKinney, maybe?
Potentially, but again, I think that he might want to be in there. Yeah,
all right. But then
guys that are hurt, like Michael
Baco Bawele, probably because of the injury stuff, and
guys that are hurt.
Guys that are hurt, right?
Probably. But he was also the driving force. He was the one that said during all of the offseason that he wants to play in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zach Baco Bawele is probably one of the reasons why they're playing more.
They'll probably
in the preseason.
Yeah, they'll probably. Well, I was just saying they'll bubble wrap him, but I'm just trying to think of are there any Packers who you'd know, like back in the day. They weren't going to play Clay Matthews, and they weren't going to play Devontae. And they weren't going to play. But is there anybody at that status? Because, do you sit Zaire Franklin?
I think McKinney makes the most sense. I think Franklin will play because they'll want to at least do somewhat of the operation, maybe a little bit. Probably Devontae Wyatt still returning. He hasn't been a full go yet in team drills. Aaron Banks hasn't been a full go yet in team drills. But I'm telling you, I would be surprised if Zebach isn't playing tonight. Again, just because of he was one of the main reasons why, and he was now for the last week or so been pretty much a full go in team drills. Josh Jacobs dinged up, he won't go. Maybe you don't see Christian Watson. Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I think Watson's the guy.
Those are two guys. Yeah, those are.
But
I was going to get to that around to that side too.
But I'm not going to be mad if they play.
Matthew Golden will play. I mean, you got to have some guys to play.
That's the thing. And I mean, if Love's going to be out there, I don't know that you're going to have him throw into J. Michael Sturdivant, Will Shepard, and Isaiah Nair the whole time.
That's the thing. I mean, and also, I don't know. We can debate this all day, but I want to win week 1. I want to win week 2. Like, we can debate all day what the impact is. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But if there's a way to help yourself get prepared for that game, I think you have to play a little bit. Now, the Packers were really prepared in the first 2 weeks last year, or at least it seemed that way. They played great, and then it wasn't the same the rest of the year. So I don't know. I don't think that was an issue last year.
Recently, obviously. I mean, I'm looking at some of the top quarterbacks outside of Kansas City, right? Because that's the outlier. But most top quarterbacks. Did Jordan Love play a snap last year?
Jordan Love has played in all of his preseasons.
Yes.
He has played in the opener of every preseason as the starting quarterback.
And then that's it. And then shut it down.
And then last year, I
know Dak hasn't played one since 2019.
Last year he played, after his ankle bent the wrong way. That was kind of the raps for him.
There's certain guys
he played against the Jets last year, and then that's when he got dinged. So that was when he hit the hand on the helmet. They went 1 for 5, and he did not play the rest of the time. 2024, they played the first game of the preseason in Cleveland, had 1 series, drove down for a quick touchdown. Hit Dontavian Wicks 3 plays in, and then did not return for the rest of the preseason. So a lot of times they've played 1 game, and then that's been it.
One game, 1 series. Again, it used to be the measure would 1 or 2 series the first game. The second game you'd play like the first half. The third game you'd touch the third quarter and you'd go in for halftime and come back
get
out.
A little sweat going on at halftime. Yep.
You knew what that was like, and then you bubble wrap the 4th game. But so now that's completely out because you only have 3, and you have the controlled practice, the controlled scrimmage which is basically like the week 3 now, where that's where you guys will get a lather.
Yeah,
and then they'll bubble wrap them in the stadium. So that's changed, but so it's like the fluidity comes in weeks 1 and 2 now. And most teams do like the controlled scrimmage, right? Are there any outliers of teams that don't?
I believe every team is doing
everybody
joint practices.
does that.
Yeah, and a lot of them are doing.
And that's
earlier.
where the starters iron sharpens iron, and you get the starters against the starters.
They probably, Drew, are one of the only teams that are only doing one.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, Robert Saleh, his boy's doing 3 of them.
You'd have thought they would have had one in Denver too.
I would have thought so. Wayne did mention that of it being a long trip, and that seemed like it wore on the process and for LaFleur and everybody, because like, we got out there, we flew on Wednesday, then we had the practice on Thursday in the morning, recap, watch, wait, hang out Friday, then the game's late night Saturday. It's like it felt like we were out there for a week and a half. So I wonder if that was a little bit of the separation for it. I would be surprised though if they don't do multiple going forward. I mentioned like the Tennessee Titans, now granted, new coach, new system, new offense, young quarterback, they're doing one for every one of their preseason games. They're like, we want to figure out who we got. And as much as I've beat the drum for they should put those joint practices on TV, maybe I don't want that, because then they will become preseason games 2.0. We just can't. Listening to Brian Gutekunst with Cheesehead TV, he stopped by the Corey Banke Palace yesterday. Great conversation those guys had with him. He had mentioned, he's like, listen, our public practices, we have 13 of them. A lot of other teams have like 3. He's like, so there's a lot more opportunity for them to work on stuff behind closed doors and without cameras and stuff. That's one of the reasons why they freak out on filming so much. And one of the reasons why they probably want to see how many opportunities they can have under some camouflage to work on some of the stuff they want to have ready for week 1. So they have some of those unscouted looks for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, which is always,
we got to have that buzzword.
Yeah,
have it.
Unscouted looks. Which is always what I think coaches. Sorry, guys.
I like that you're firing in that music. Crank that.
Yeah, I'm fired up.
Crank it up. We got to go to break.
But they're always worried about trying to do things in secrecy. We don't want people to know what we're doing. We have to be able to do things, and not let people see them. NFL coaches football coaches will always be worried about that. Other teams spying on them and looking at them.
He said, Goody was mentioning how he used to make fun of Ted Thompson for looking over him like, hey, there's somebody on the rush center. Go check out who that is.
It's a constant paranoia.
It's like, then all of a sudden I became the GM. And I saw some guys on the rush center. I'm like, hey, why don't you go see who that is?
See who that is.
I mean,
then we went to Cincinnati for a joint practice. He's like, there are about 7 or 8 skyscrapers around. I was like, maybe I need to be a little less paranoid about what's going on with our
It started in Little Giants when Rick Moranis called the cops on Ed O'Neill for spying on little kids, even though it was his brother and the other team coach, and spying on his kids with binoculars.
There you go. Oh, Armin, classic. 877-794-1973. Packers tackle football. The fact that we can talk about Packers Steelers tonight will delay us from talking about the Brewers' gut-wrenching loss in extra innings.
Others are thanking us for that.
Yesterday in San Diego, on to Los Angeles today after just a sleepwalking series in San Diego.
Hey, we can still win the series. We can still win the road trip.
Yesterday was a crusher, though. What a crushing
that
loss.
Was emotionally
quite
tough.
The bummer.
Yeah.
Quite the bummer. We'll talk about all that and more. You're in the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
song, yeah. Played by Carlos Santana.
Thursday edition of the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube for all of our 5 o'clock clubbers. It's game day. We mentioned Packers and Steelers tonight, 6 o'clock kick. You'll hear it right here on 920 in Milwaukee. Check your local listings if you're listening to us via the stream. The Packers Radio Network reaches not only throughout the state, Billy, we're multi-state.
I got the map
yes,
here. Hold on.
correct.
You guys want to? I love
that. We're through at least
into Minnesota,
4 states.
Iowa.
4 states.
North Dakota hangs out with us.
Hold on. We got South Dakota, too, this year.
Hey!
And last year, actually, we did. Yeah, you'll be listening to us in Bismarck, North Dakota on KXMR, KQYZ in Emirado, North Dakota. I go there on vacation a lot.
Big Bison fans
Sioux Falls, South Dakota on KSU.
Yes.
One of the great call signs. And then Moline, Illinois. And then a bunch in UP, Michigan, and Pine City, Minnesota. That's right. We're the home team for the state of Minnesota. We're Minnesota's team. So 5 states, if I'm not mistaken. Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, North, South Dakota, and Minnesota, right? That's 6.
Yes.
Did I count 6? Wait. Sorry. Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, North, South, and Minnesota. 6 states. 6 states.
There we go.
That's 6. That's 6 states. There
Let's
you go.
Vast and ever expanding Packers radio network. I like that we're in the land of the Jackrabbits. Good that Tucker Kraft's home state is able to listen to him dominate once we get to regular season games up there against the Minnesota Vikings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Can you? Tonight what else are you going to watch? First of all, it's the first question is how much the starters play, and then after that, we've talked about how the Packers there's not a lot of open competition on the edges. There is
the hardcore position battles. There's not as many.
Not as many hardcore position battles. It's more about we've seen some shuffling, but I still think Keyshawn Nixon's going to start.
Mm-hmm. No, I would agree.
Carrington Valentine probably going to start, but maybe we'll see. But
you get a good run look at Brandon Cisse. You get a hopefully extended look at Marshawn Lloyd, Drew, in a game where he gets tackled to the ground and then has to pop back up. Those are good things to be able to see.
Those are the things to watch. But what else are we going to be watching tonight? Because again, everybody's vanilla, and we're not going to get much of a read on Jonathan Gannon's approach because everybody just keeps everything just kind of bland, and that's by design. But you see players play, and you get them out there and get them sweaty and stuff. I'm looking, I think, a lot. Well, how does Belton react to recent events?
Yes. How does he play? And I'm interested to see how they rotate Jagger Burton and Jacob Monk and maybe Anthony Belton over there, right guard, because that competition looks like it's very much wide open.
Yeah. So there's that. And then how much did they play Jaden Reed? Maybe not. Do they?
Probably not. He was dinged up. Him and Golden both missed the Monday practice. Yeah. So I could very much see both of them end up out. I would anticipate Golden would play at least a tick.
But then Watson Watson would play only with Love.
One good deep ball to Love, and that's probably about it.
Only with Love, and then when Love goes out, he'll go out.
Very excited to see Savion Williams, though, in that wide receiver room. If we're talking about it, Wayne and I have mentioned a lot of the guys who are battling for some of the final spots. But Williams is a guy that's probably battling more for an opportunity to get real looks and get real opportunities in game action, because a year ago he was hampered by a foot injury for the majority in the back half of the year. He was still returning kicks, even though he was walking around in a boot most of the week. So that was a very, very impressive showing he had a year ago, but he's been fully healthy and he's been flashing every day.
Has Domani Jackson drawn any attention?
He has not really practiced much, Drew. And there was
he haven't heard much.
Pete Doherty asked LaFleur Tuesday, I believe it was, did Domani Jackson have core muscle surgery? A long pause. Matt LaFleur looks down at him and goes, "Who told you that?" He's like, "Well, I knew it was a core injury during the spring." He goes, "Yeah, that's separate from it, but he did have that. Working through some other stuff, but he hasn't really flashed much at all because he hasn't really been in there much at all in team drills." Jalen Simpson is the guy that has probably flashed the most over there, and he might be making the club.
I was thinking Domani Jackson's a guy who you expect him to make plays on special teams and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Bokeem
all right,
Melton
so
will be
the-
ready to go for
how about
special teams drills.
Chris McClellan and Denai Dennis Sutton? Is this their night to shine on national TV?
Chris McClellan definitely going to get a lot of opportunity. My boy Anthony Campbell, who's been one of the talks of camp, going to absolutely get a chance there. And I would also, you mentioned Zaire Franklin as one of those guys that maybe gets bubble wrapped. Again, probably like a series or two. Real extended run for Tyron Hopper, because Isaiah McDuffie will play a decent amount most likely, but he's extended. You know what you have in Isaiah McDuffie. They'll get him some looks and reps just to get himself ready. But I would assume there's a lot of development opportunity for Tyron Hopper, who doesn't get a ton of defensive snaps in the regular season as one of the core backups. But he ended up playing huge last year in the playoff game, had a pick down near the goal line, and has just not had a ton of opportunities. Brandon Cisse, though, and Nags and Banky talked about it with Brian Gutekunst. There's certain players you have to see how they react in different settings. Cisse not going to go up against DK Metcalf or Michael Pittman for the Steelers. Roman Wilson's got real NFL speed, though, and to see how he reacts in an NFL stadium with that kind of pressure. He played in the SEC. He's seen bigger crowds than he'll see tonight, but very excited to see how he translates it. But I did hear Armin mention it real briefly there. The one spot and the one thing you're going to see manufactured, the one thing that you're going to see crowbarred into tonight's game, I think I can safely bet there will be 3 to 4 field goals attempted.
Oh, yes.
And if the Packers are sitting, Drew, right near, like, say the 28-yard line, and it's 3rd and 2, they're throwing that thing as deep as possible, not being upset if it goes right out of the back of the end zone. They will not go for it on 4th down. And I imagine they're going to take every opportunity to send Trey Smack out there and get a look in the stadium, because that's what they've said multiple times is what's only going to matter in this evaluation process, and figure out if they need to bring somebody else in.
Yeah, we got to see this guy kick. We got to see you kick, big dog. We got to see you kick in this building. And whether or not the results are good, they'll at least learn something from it. And the thing is, you're right, Billy, it helps make decisions going forward. I think they're sticking with him. They're going to work through whatever issues they are, but it always comes down to how bad is it, because this is still the business of winning in this league, and that's what you have to do. So we will see Trey smack some, and if he misses some, they will be talking smack around here, right? So
Armin, that's
well
very,
done. There you go.
It's just too easy.
You're
However,
too crafty.
I hope he nails all of them. I hope he booms them right through the uprights with room to spare. But we're all going to feel that before he kicks it. Does any of us really expect it to really go perfectly? I don't. But however, it might, and that would be great. Maybe he'll just be great at kicking in the bowl, which is really where it matters anyway. You know?
The NFL stadiums is where it really does matter, Armin. You're right. As much as we would love to see you go perfect out at Ray Nitschke Field, that really doesn't matter much. Because I watched Greg Joseph have days where he would shut the box, and then they quickly escorted him right on out of the Lambeau Field locker room. They were very much okay moving on from him at any point in time.
I watched Brandon McManus nail him at Ray Nitschke Field all summer. I mean, boy, he could not miss from 50, 60. But you know when he did miss? In the NFL playoffs. So.
Yeah, only in the biggest spots.
It sometimes is like that.
You mentioned, Drew, what else are you going to watch? There's a decent amount of other NFL games. There's one going on as well right in the same wheelhouse. 6 o'clock kick in the NFC North. The Lions take on the Bengals. Bengals have played Joey B a couple of times in recent years, trying to spice themselves up, get themselves ready to roll. But really, Packers and Steelers turns into the undercard. This is the first time, really, I think that we can safely assume we're going to watch a West Coast Brewers game with the new hours.
Very true.
Live.
I mean, we're gonna get live viewing of
We'll
Brewers
have it
and
on.
Dodgers tonight.
That's
because
true.
We'll be hanging out with you. So while you're watching,
wrap.
hang out with us for Packers OT.
That's a good point. We'll be careful not to miss anything.
Not to miss anything. And
Sorry, we missed Charles and Arkdale because we were watching the Brewers.
Well, as long as we don't take a Freddie Freeman and just stumble right through the whole thing, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, we should be all right.
No, I'll stay focused so you guys make sure.
Yeah, stay vigilant.
You guys
for us,
can
okay?
watch that. And,
that's good.
And we we have avoided talking Brewers so far, so I feel that's a service. But I also feel like we're going to have to do it. So we do have a hopeful text from Rhonda. We'll have to get to that.
All right.
Rhonda has some hope for us. And
she does. I love it.
Very unique. But you got to, in a streak like this, you got to find some way to try and
you got to squint for some optimism.
You got to squint for some optimism is a good way to put it. So
that's right. 877-794-1973 gets you in. It's game day in the good land. We're very excited. We will talk Brewers and Padres, although we don't want to, but we're on to LA. Brewers licking their wounds after their third. I think it's the third time they've been swept this season. in the series.
Goodness gracious.
And
this one just doesn't feel the same.
The other times were by Pittsburgh and Washington, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Washington. And Washington was at home, wasn't it?
I believe.
Early in the year?
I believe so.
All right, that made me feel a lot better, Drew. Thank you. I needed that.
Yep. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armin, live from headquarters on this game day in the Goodland. Packers Steelers tonight, exhibition opener, preseason opener. What do we prefer, preseason, exhibition? Still exhibition to me.
I was going to say exhibition is a good one. I usually end up saying preseason because it's the easier one to determine what sport we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, like spring training, you only talk about for baseball. You don't call the boys cavorting in Maryvale Baseball Park. Pardon me. American Family Fields of Phoenix.
Yes.
We don't call that training camp, even though there will be, Drew, I imagine every single year that you would be out there for 6 to 7 weeks. Some of you go, how's training camp going? It's good. Spring training is beautiful. It's one of my easiest lines of demarcation, so you separate and know what the sports are. I've always called the Bucks games the exhibition games as well. In the NBA, those are, I mean, you want to really talk about an exhibition. Granted, half of the regular season could also feel like
that's true. You don't get many
of
those, but preseason exhibition doesn't matter. They're going to be playing tonight on the banks of what are the rivers?
The Allegheny, the Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
the third tenor?
The third tenor is the hardest. The Monongahela, right?
Monongahela. Yeah.
I got closer than I did last time.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I remember a guy once upon a time there was a site that sold shirts. I think it was awful announcing. Maybe not, but it was naming wrongs, and you could get the shirt that said I miss so and so. And I remember the guy wearing the I Miss Three Rivers Stadium shirt. Where around Miller Park at the time was wearing it in for a Pirates game. Like, all right, this guy's a real one right here.
Three Rivers and Veteran Stadium were two of the great dumps.
Yeah,
County Stadium was a dump, but it was our dump.
It was our dump, though.
Yeah,
and I loved it.
But Veteran Stadium, man, that entire place smelled of vomit. It was awful.
But isn't that the
I
way
told you, like,
the
the ballpark in San Francisco smells like garlic because they make the garlic fries. The whole ballpark smells like garlic, and it's kind of cool. That Veteran Stadium on a hot summer day, a muggy summer day, smelled everywhere you went, smelled like vomit.
So what did ours smell like? Mash, like the malt from the breweries. The mash?
Little bit. No, it was a little bit
sewage,
like
little sewage, little summer day sewage, or what?
No, I'm trying to think. It was more. It was like there was a mustiness to it.
Yeah,
Kinda.
there we go.
I like that. Okay.
Especially like in the bowels, like it was like always damp and kind of musty. Basically like a
little bit of water rolling through.
Basementy. It was basementy, but it wasn't like completely unpleasant. And
like your aunt's basement where you'd always go and hang out because they would keep a TV down there. It wasn't really finished.
It's where the kids went to play to get away from the parents so they could have adult conversation.
Where they kept their old beer
but it was kind of
signs on the
musty.
shelf.
Yeah, a little bit musty, but it was
with the wood paneling.
The seating bowl and stuff. When they got a breeze through there, it was nice. But in the concourses and down, especially down below the service level where we spent a lot of time, it was like basement-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so not horrible. Definitely not vomit smelling.
I think it was always helpful that the bleachers were separate from the rest of the bowl. So it wasn't one continuous, thing. Mm-hmm. So it was wide open there in that sense. That was always good.
I don't know exactly what the Lake Country Dockhounds Stadium smells like after Wednesday night. Last night, fellas, they had a legend amongst us. World all-time, maybe the greatest competitive athlete in American history. Joey Chestnut was there.
Oh,
Joey Chestnut was at the Lake Country Dockhounds game last night.
That's awesome.
Did he do wings with wags?
That's a nice get.
Got into a tater tot eating contest.
Yeah,
and he lost.
Oh, Joey lost?
Joey lost to some patrons last night at the Lake Country Dockhounds game.
Oh my God.
Lost by 1/10 of an ounce. The video right now that CBS 58 News has out has over 300,000 views.
Oh, this is going to get big. Absolutely.
For Joey Chestnut losing a tater tot eating contest last night at the Dockhounds game. If anybody knows these individuals that beat Joey Chestnut, please give them the phone number of 877-794-1973.
This is like, that old grainy video of somebody beating Jordan at the one-on-one at the Nike camp. But then, like, they actually got video of this. Wow, this is a pelt you can have on your wall forever because Joey Chestnut's not a one-trick pony. He holds multiple eating records. People think he's just a hot dog eater.
And he's ticked.
Yeah. Oh,
he is ticked in this video that they have.
That's beating Jordan in a dunk contest.
Oh, my gosh. He's sitting there stewing with the Nathan's hot dog eating belt on, waiting in a Dockhounds jersey. And the decision goes to the man in the red shirt with a camouflage hat. He came straight out of a tree stand with a beautiful ginger beard and a heart and desire like nobody else to be able to hoist up the tater tot belt at formerly WBC Park.
Does he look pissed? You're right.
I mean,
oh my God.
That is a face.
I love that.
Of somebody who cannot believe that they just caught a fat L.
That's a face of somebody that's the clock's never off for him. Like he's got to win he's got to keep his reputation all the time. Like they're coming at the king at all times, and he takes that seriously.
I really apologize, guys, but I that video was just
that's great.
That captivated me in a different type of way. You're right. Jordan in a dunk contest, maybe not Bonds in a home run hitting contest because that's not happening. Like you're not beating like a Jordan.
Like I'm trying to think. Either. Like did a kid ever beat like? Was there a quarterback that ever got beat by a kid in like a tire throwing?
Is this beating Tiger Woods in a quick 9 at your local Muni?
Yeah, but that's not even possible, right? So you almost think to yourself, like, you're doing the impossible. You're beating Joey Chestnut. Like maybe it's a food if it's a food he's unfamiliar with or how it was judged, I'm sure he's going to complain about how it was judged in one of those deals. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea, but all I know is you got a pelt on your wall forever. When you say hey kids, you know that famous guy? I beat him once in a
see that
contest.
Belt up there that I got? I got that from beating Joey Chestnut.
Tell me about it, Grandpa.
That's pretty impressive. That's impressive stuff right there. Wow.
Theater time.
I don't know that we're going to see anything that impressive tonight, Drew, in preseason opener number 1.
Yeah.
Or exhibition opener number 1. Opener. I got a sneaky suspicion that's going to be the best video that we see inside of a stadium today. Unless the Brewers go and beat the Dodgers. Then we would see something a lot better because Lord knows they need one.
Joey Chestnut, by the way, has 55 world records across 55 disciplines, they say. I don't know if competitive eating could be So there you go. And he's the number 1 rank. He's first in the world, first ranked in the world by MLE.
Man,
Major League Eating.
That's kind of discipline I wanted when I was a kid.
Yeah, I mean.
Instead, I got the timeout discipline.
No.
Why don't I get the chicken wing eating contest discipline?
He's got 18 mustard yellow belts. So 1 more to beat Jack Nicklaus for majors. Are there any other majors in
more
eating?
Coney Island special?
Yeah, 1 more. Yeah.
They do some wild stuff. I'm pretty sure they eat fried rice as one of the competitions in there too.
Yeah, I mean.
Do you imagine that Blackstone run?
Oh, my goodness.
Oof.
That's hard to deter. Is it just by ounces or?
I believe it's
weight?
weight. Yeah, I believe it's weight eaten.
He's also a 9-time world rib eating champion. But it looks like the last one was 10 years ago, so it might be past his prime on that.
No, he might be. Listen, he might just be over the hill.
Well, he's 42. What's the prime for an eater? I don't know.
That's a fair point.
Great question.
That's a great
question.
question.
Is it a young man's game?
I mean, Westbrook retired. Maybe he has to.
Nick and Sussex, like beating Steph Curry in a 3-point contest.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a fair comparison. That's impressive.
I wonder what the convo's like, too, with him and the other guys at the table right before. Because we've been doing some of those Admirals eating contests, but the guys are kind of chummy because they're all fans and they all kind of joke around before. I'm like, does he just stare? Like, who's finishing second? Like the old Larry Bird. In the 3-point contest.
He walked out like Hulk Hogan in the 70s. I mean, people are high-fiving him and they're smacking his back as he's walking down this like very, very tight corridor. That was a wild scene.
Wild.
Oh man, if you're not already at Fox Sports Radio or Fox Sports 920's Twitter page, what are you doing? That's where you can watch the Huddle as well as YouTube and X. But go and check that out. We'll retweet that one there to be able to see that great visual from our friends at CBS 58.
Who's the more accomplished San Jose State alum, Devontae Adams or Joey Chestnut? That's my question. Looks like they both.
Chestnut might have more name recognition.
I'm sorry, Fresno State.
I was going to say Fresno.
Wait,
definitely
am I thinking of James Jones?
James Jones. San Jose State.
James went there. You'll hear him tonight. Okay, then I guess the answer to my question.
Did Joey Chestnut go to Fresno State or did he go to San Jose State?
He went to San Jose State.
Okay.
I mixed up Devontae and James.
All right, you can tell James that I said that Joey Chestnut's going to be the more famous San Jose State.
I believe Spartan. What's that?
I believe Spartan or Trojan. One
good
of the
question.
two for the San Jose State folks there. Spartans.
Also, San Jose State alums. Bill Walsh. Dick Vermeil.
Oh, those are pretty good. Never mind.
Those ones are
Dick Fosbury, who invented the Fosbury flop and high jumping, which
that's a good one right there.
And Stevie Nicks.
Oh, let's go.
Mac. There you go.
All right, that's a tough one to crack right there.
Those are some pretty famous folks.
Sorry, Joe. You're getting kicked down a little bit now after those.
Not on the list.
Just the wild white-winged dove sings a song. Sounds like she's singing.
All right, we're off and running. We are going to talk Brewers, as painful as it may be. I can find a silver lining in yesterday's game. You don't have to look very far. It's a big redheaded guy. We're going to talk about that as we move forward. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. The good news is that the Brewers are still in first place and still have the best record in the National League. Then there's the bad news.
Campusano into right field. Base hit. Here comes Song. Laura's throw will be. Padres walk it off. Campusano to right.
Yeah, in a game that lasted almost 4 hours, the Padres outlast the Brewers in 11 innings, 4-3. San Diego getting the sweep. Afterwards, the Brewers held a players-only meeting that lasted about 15 minutes in the clubhouse. Now it's north to Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. Tonight's series opener begins at 9:10. Shane Drowan will pitch against Roki Sasaki. Milwaukee's lead in the Central down to 3 games. But there's football tonight. The Packers renewing acquaintances with some of their most historic names from the past. Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron probably won't play. Kickoff is at 6. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you. You need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on 1. Ready, Bill for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on 1. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we got to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C-puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armin Sarian.
Zip. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Thursday edition of the Huddle from headquarters. Drew Wilson, Bill Schmid, Armin Sarian. Welcome, 6 o'clock clubbers. Say hi to the 5 o'clock clubbers. They've been here with us.
They've already had 2 drinks.
Room
They've
on
hit their
this-
2-drink minimum.
Room on this bandwagon for everybody, no matter when you join us. We're glad you're with us. 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere in the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Shout out to our friends listening to us on 1070 in Madison, including those who were at the iHeart Madison golf outing yesterday.
Yes.
Bill and I stopped on by, got to hang out with Matt LePay and Paul Brown and some smart and good-looking sponsors of the program and of the station.
Phenomenal ones. Our friends from Cleary Building, as we apply the Shamrock on our Badger football postgame show every single Saturday night. One of my favorite things to be able to do.
You're going to apply the Shamrock after the Notre Dame game, or you're just going to downplay that one, depending on how it goes.
Wow, that's a really good point, Drew. I had not thought of that.
Why'd you put that out?
It might be the only Shamrock we like after that game.
I was
We'll
gonna
see.
say now listen, that could be a different Shamrock, but listen, if we hit that Ken Shamrock finisher on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, we might finish their national title hopes.
Can I just give them a shout out? I have one of the great radio jingles. You don't get a lot of those anymore with radio commercials.
With
pride before the Shamrock supplied. I mean, you just don't. Once
Amazing.
upon a time, we do a lot of jingles. That was a good one.
It is always great to see the Hall of Famer Matt LePay. I gotta say though, as a nerd of this business and of broadcasting, sitting next to Paul Brown, that's the first time I've gotten to meet the Hall of Famer Paul Brown. That was
great,
beautiful. He was phenomenal being able to break down the men's and women's hockey program. He's super awesome guy. So that was a phenomenal time yesterday.
Very cool. You just mentioned Ken Shamrock. I had a flashback that Johnny Vegas and I were out with one of his coworkers many years ago, and his coworker struck up a conversation with a very strikingly attractive mid-30s-ish woman. And then she went to go to the bathroom, and the bartender said, "You might not want to be talking to her." It's like, well, why not? It's like, well, her most recent ex is Ken Shamrock, and he comes in here a lot. So
Hey, you know what I love is like a bartender giving good advice.
Thanks for the heads up,
Appreciate
my
that.
man.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll be leaving to pay our tab.
We'll be
and
giving
get
you
out
a
of here.
nice tip on our way out.
Getting outta
Thank you,
here.
sir.
I like getting good advice. That's a good bartender. You know,
That
that's
is
a-
No, I
very
thought maybe
helpful,
it's
yes.
like, hey, she's just being nice to you because she's a pro or something. No, it was like, yeah,
I was
she's
going to
just-
say, what is she
I'd
going to
watch-
rob me
I'd
at the
watch
end
out.
of it? Or?
It's like word to the wise. Okay.
It's
That's all we
phenomenal.
needed. Ken Shamrock flashbacks.
That's when you can't, you
All
got
right.
it, but I got to know why. Like, you know what I mean?
Ken Shamrock flashbacks. How about flashbacks to Pittsburgh? Brewers get swept yesterday.
Oh.
A gut punch of a loss. Winning that one would have been a mood changer. Would have got you go into LA with wind in your sails, even though you lost 2 out of 3. But they lose 4-3 in 11 innings, and it was mostly heinous.
Yes, it was stinging to say the least, Drew. The last play, even with a great throw by Lara, a pretty good throw. If it's a great throw, it's a little bit lower, and you might still be playing. Who knows?
Yeah.
But he made the great catch, and Mitchell did too, and extra. So all those things kind of the great start by Dustin May go by the wayside, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
that's
start by
bummer of
Dustin
it.
May was something. Like
It was
there,
great.
the silver lining is Dustin May gets the ball and pitches into the 8th with 83 pitches. He walked the first guy in the 8th, so Murph went to get him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 83 pitches. Yeah, but third, you can make the case that that's okay, and you should do then. Rested bullpen, let's go.
Right.
And Patrick walked a couple guys. Ashby didn't cover first base, but you can focus on the pitching. But once again, the Brewers were 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position.
Oh my goodness.
They left 13 men on base, and of the 15 at bats with runners in scoring position, 10 ended in strikeouts.
Oh my God.
Yeah, frustrating.
So
And
it was heinous. They struck out with the bases loaded. 3 guys struck out. Like they left
That
the
was the
bases
thing.
loaded in the 11th inning.
And,
So
and that's what really hurt him, right? Because Sanchez gets the RBI double to lead it off, but then it's okay, great. Now you got to take control and get some more
and
here.
they didn't.
You need the crooked number
you need
in,
that.
in extras. Yep.
Yeah, especially when you're on the road.
And
So
that's,
that one really hurt him.
So they just blew a chance to break it open.
Brutal.
And then Rengifo comes in and he's had some, Senzatela had some bad luck again, bad result.
I was going to say
horrible. So you can blame the bullpen, but it's the offense that's killing.
Mm-hmm. This is when Drew, they leave that many guys on base and in scoring position. I mean, there was also 2 for 11 were the Padres, but a lot of that, they lost a lot of their men on base because your defense was phenomenal. What, 4 double plays?
May was a double play machine.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And even at the point, it looked like that double play in the 4th inning that they turned right after a botch that should have gotten him out of the inning might have been the biggest pitch of the game. If they win it, who knows? Because it would have been a mood changer. Could have been the biggest pitch of the road trip if you go out there and do something good against the Dodgers.
Robbie Ray didn't pitch well, and that's another thing. Dustin May outpitched Robbie Ray, a guy who a lot of people would have rather have had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he was way better. Dustin May's been pretty damn solid pickup.
That's the silver lining, I think.
But the
of
Brewers
all that.
played 11 innings and they only got 5 hits, right? And like I said, 2 in 15 plate appearances with runners in scoring position, 5 hits, but they got 10 walks.
Yeah, on base plenty.
They had
of times.
traffic all day. That's why they had all the guys stranded, and it's just an awful offensive day, an awful day all around. Ashby's got to cover first base. He gives you a chance. You probably win the game if he covers first base.
So I was listening on the radio at that point, and it sounded like they were being very potentially nice in that criticism. That was a blow by Ashby not being there, right?
Major blow. And
he was just
not only that, then he
late.
overran the bag and Tatis scored.
Yeah.
Right, because all of a sudden you hear Tatis rolling around, and I'm like, okay, that's just one of the base stealers in the league running, but it was just another botch on the side.
It was still super close. Like when I watched the replay over and over to see, like, all right, how late was he? Because obviously, as a lefty, you come down on the right
Third base side, yeah.
So it's hard to turn around and wheel. And he did get down and sprint, and it was just like a split second of a step late. But if he gets it's just reaction. If he gets there a split second earlier, obviously on the reaction, he might have had a chance to beat him.
Do you think Bauer's could have beat him?
It's tough because Vaughn's going to his right on that play. So I don't know. It might have been able to slide in and beat him with the foot. That's a tough situation. I'd have to watch it again to see, but
I saw Murph's post game and he said, this has happened to Ashby before, and it's like 4 or 5 times. It's like something in his career. You got to get better at it. And then he basically said the first baseman's got to dive for the bag. You can't trust Ashby.
Well, that's an option. It was an option. I said, is he going to try and dive here? Yeah,
Let's be honest, and we all know who we're working with. Maybe we just take matters into our own hands.
It's just tough because once he got to roll over, I'm like, he's out of this. Like, we're out of this. He's out of this.
Here's Murph saying, it's been going on. You've seen that with Ashby in his career, maybe 4 or 5 times. Seems like it's always comes at a critical time. The first baseman has got to dive for the base. You can't leave it up to Ashby.
You can't leave it up
It's a good point. I love the way he says that. Jeez.
Now,
boy,
That is the most blunt way of saying it.
all right, so the Brewers
bad,
offense,
right?
Brewers offense sucked, but nobody can be mad at Christian Yelich because he's one of the guys that did not play.
It was not in there. Yes,
was not in there. But then this was such a blow, and they were in the series 3 for 28 with runners in scoring position. So we're back to that.
And you think that's got to you talk about regression of the mean. It's got to get better, right? But you keep waiting for it to
but they
happen.
went through one of these death spirals, and the defense is still there, the pitching's still there. They pitched well enough to win, didn't hit. They should have got a bat at the deadline. Well, maybe the bats they have should be better.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I still firmly believe the best bats that were available at the deadline is Jackson Churio, Bryce Terang, and William Contreras hitting like their baseball card.
That's right.
Tells you.
So it's so deflating yesterday that in a rarity and probably a season first, Murph called a post-game meeting to address the troops.
Okay, come on now. Big meeting guy now?
Fellas,
we need to figure this out and have a meeting. And not a players only meeting. It's a full team meeting.
Murph talking to
Now, I also liked Jake Bauer's statement after the game where he said, I think we all just need to chill out a little bit. Yeah. And now it's a lot easier said than done, right? The Paul Rudd in forgetting Sarah Marshall. Just do less. Just do less. Yeah. All right. Well, now you're not doing anything at all. Do more, but do less. But you got to figure out a way
easier
to be able to
try easier
to be able to get yourself dialed in while also not being so hell-bent on the swings and misses, because there's going to be too many of them to keep yourself out of the game for.
Asked about his message, Murph said, sometimes it goes the other way. All I know is that on August 12th, we have the best record in baseball. Well, now the Rays do, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say no longer.
If you got the best record in baseball, you're still going to go through times like this when things aren't very good and everything seems to go against you. But it's in your head things are going against you. You've got to not feel sorry for yourself and just keep your head up and not go, oh, well, now we've got the Dodgers. They're the best team. You just get opportunity after opportunity and take advantage. I'm proud as hell of this team. So for everybody who's looking like, oh, wow, what's going on? The Padres are the hottest team in baseball. Look it up. They've got a bunch of superstars all playing good. They've got a great pitching staff, especially the bullpen. Some of the best in the game. We caught them at the wrong time, or we win 2 out of 3 for sure. But we didn't. Here we are. Teams are closing in on us. Everybody's talking about the Cubs. Hey, give the Cubs credit. They're an experienced, educated team. They shored up their team with as much as they could, and they're playing great. Hats off to them. We can't worry about any of that. Just worry about ourselves and keep rolling and keep fighting, keep playing the way we have. We can't look behind. We have to play the way we play.
Fantastic. I love it. I love the way he puts it. All you can do is get back on the horse and go again and try and make
you get opportunity. Like
yeah.
Billy just said that you could, if they sweep the Dodgers, it's a winning trip. That's could happen.
And if you
unlikely, but it could.
If you win the series, again, this is just the stuff that probably they aren't forecasting or looking for. You win the series 3 out of 4, you win the season series against the Dodgers.
Yeah,
and you hold that tiebreaker over for basically an extra half game lead in the standings for the bye.
And a trip that started in a nightmare is you're suddenly,
suddenly our 3 of 4 would feel real good.
Yeah, 3 of 4 would be, 3 and 4 would be great after going 0-3. So yeah,
and it's they're in a position where at least you're going to have Miz and Henderson in the back end of the trip. Henderson against Skubal is going to be one of the more fascinating pitching matchups, I think, all year long. And you just hope that you don't have to. You just pray that Miz doesn't have to be the stopper, because if that's the case, then this swoon through August definitely takes a different type of tailspin. And we were talking about a 5.5 game lead going into September. That lead that you built up through the last 3 months could completely dissipate because nobody's helping you. Nobody's helping you against the Cubbies.
Cubs aren't going to lose, man. That's what the way it feels like.
And
now,
freaking Alex Bregman all of a sudden found his baseball bat.
All of a sudden, he's going nuts, right? What was he, 3 for 3?
With 3 taters.
Oh, God. Oh, he had 3 homers? I didn't see that.
Yeah, 3 for 3 with 3 bombs.
That's disgusting. Yeah. I try to avoid that. When I see them put up crooked numbers, I try and avoid the rest of the score. But I think understanding, too, like, no matter how good the season is in totality, there's going to be rough spots, rough waters. There's going to be turbulence in that flight. That's okay. It's not like you're accepting it and you're saying, hey, we're just not going to try our best. No one's saying that, but understanding the reality of it and saying, look, these are times you got to get through. You got to make sure they pass. You got to do all you can to get out of it. And once you do, we just talked about the Cubs. Understanding the fact that, they might have a stretch like this at some point too, and it might all even out. So all you can do is what you can do, right? And if the Cubs are that good and they're going to be unstoppable that much, so be it. It's going to be a dogfight. Then they're going to earn their position, and we'll see what happens in September. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. But the Brewers have to get healthy. Just get off the schneid. find a way to put some runs up and try and get yourself feeling, all right, we're back on the track.
The frustrating thing is I thought they did the Tom Honda court. I thought they were going to kick the crap out of somebody 2-1.
It sure seemed
feel
like
real good on their quick flight up to Los Angeles, and maybe get a nice steak dinner when you land. And instead, they weren't going out to any Ocean Ave places last night.
First of all, they bus from San Diego to
really.
Oh yeah.
Oh dang. That's probably
quite a ride in traffic, but they do bus.
I was going to say that's a decent jaunt.
Yeah. Kurt Hogue has an interesting story about trying to pin down the Brewers offense. Is it good? They're 5th in the league in runs scored. What if I'd have told you in spring training that August 13th, the Brewers would be 5th in the league in runs scored? You take it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
But then you say, are they good? Are they a good offense? And you watch the at-bats and you watch the 3 for 28 runners and scoring, but you say, no, not really.
Well, but isn't the point of it? This is always the debate, and it goes back to the whole money ball. You're trying to get runs. You're not trying to hit. You get hits. You're trying to get runs.
Brewers were 3rd in runs scored last year, 6th the year before. In 2023, they were 17th.
A lot of that's the walks. A lot of that is because it's not slugging for this team. A lot of that is getting on base, understanding how to do it, put pressure on.
Brewers are 2nd in baseball in walk rate. Well, they had 10 walks yesterday and didn't turn them into anything. They don't chase as many pitches as any other team. They're very good in plate discipline. So that's a thing. But then there's no homers and there's no, the clutch hitting, it just isn't there.
Well, that's the thing. The clutch hitting just has escaped them. And while I'm not here to be the captain of the Christian Yelich fan club, that was one spot where at least there had been a couple of hits earlier on in the year, late and in clutch moments. You had seen some of that. They're going through a massive tailspin right now.
Massive team-wide malaise.
And there's got to be something that you can do to try to crack this thing through, but it happens to every great team.
BTS isn't just a South Korean boy band. BTS is what Tom Haudricourt and I would call bad team syndrome.
I like
Brewers
that.
are not a bad team by any stretch, but they're in a bad team syndrome right now, whereas every mistake you make, every Ashby not covering the bag, Terang making a base running error, a fielding error, like the botched double play didn't hurt him because they got a double play on the next play, but everything's a butterfly effect and it just has a cascading effect. So there's, bad team syndrome. Like when you, on the nights that you hit, we scored 7 runs and we gave up 9.
They're the worst version of a good team.
Exactly. Right? It's just bad team syndrome, and every good team. The Dodgers just went through it.
Yeah, they just lost 8 of 9 at one point.
The Dodgers just sputtered through it, and the Brewers are going through it right now.
Sometimes you do it,
and it's the timing. Well, they can't compete with the Padres and Dodgers. I don't know that it matters who you play because they struggled against the Twins and they struggled offensively against everybody.
I think the Padres also are going to be just about anybody these last couple of days, right? And Murph mentioned it. They're as hot as hell. And I think they've won, 14 of 18 or 15 of 19 now.
Yeah, just like they're going on that stretch. Like
they also have one of the, we talk about payroll being one of the biggest factors in performance and wins and losses in baseball. They got one of the bigger payrolls in all of ball. And Drew, they have one thing that is I don't know that it's a neutralizing factor, but it is a tough one for other teams to deal with, is that they are the only show in town and that place is live every single night. Yeah. Like you could hear it throughout the last 3 or 4 innings yesterday. Right. It was live in there for a matinee in the middle of the week. And they love their Padres.
In
the only thing going on there.
Extra inning, they wanted to walk Tatis at one point, and Murph was yelling and nobody could hear because the crowd and the music and the atmosphere. It took a while, and it was like, oh, they might not see this, that they want to put him on. And they
how do we figure out to get their sound guy? Because that place sounds like a freaking party.
It is.
These next 4 nights at LA,
it'll be more sedate. Yeah, more quiet.
Yeah, thing, but still, like whenever the Brewers are up, they'll fire up the jams, and that place will liven up at very smart times. Right? That's it.
Yeah,
I think it's the key moment and infusion of it sounds like this is a big moment. Why don't we crank up the volume a little bit and see if we can? Like, they're very strategic within Dodger Stadium. San Diego's just loud all the time.
It's so funny because California is supposed to be laid back. San Diego is loud beginning to end. It's a loud play. It's a vibe. You're right. It's a party. It's the Waste Management Classic of baseball.
100%. Yes.
And then the Dodgers are, celebrities and everybody shows up late because of traffic and everything. But no, you're right. In the moments, they get it.
By the 7th inning, when everyone's there, that's when it really gets loud.
California's supposed to be laid back. Go to a Brewers game and you see Miz, and it's picked up a little bit, but you would think that when Miz throws the first pitch 104 or has 2 strikes on the leadoff batter of a game, you might have a little like juice, but generally we don't. It's picking up a little bit, but it's nowhere near what it should be.
Getting a little better, but it needs to get better.
Where it will be like in the playoffs.
No, it won't be like that, right?
But that's why I said I wanted Cooper Pratt to play, and I want because that's that's a playoff preview, that atmosphere, and that's why I say that teams like the Twins and the Rockies get excited coming to Milwaukee because to them it feels like the playoffs, even though it's not the same. We're at a level below San Diego,
and it was
at least it's a full house.
It was the home series, I want to say, that Pratt played against the Cubs, but he had mentioned it a couple of weeks later that he is like, I gripped the bat a little bit too tight in those games.
Yeah,
right. I was feeling the atmosphere, feeling the intensity.
So it's it would have been a thing. So yeah, Yelich didn't play. It wasn't his fault yesterday, but he's part of the problem. But everybody's part of the problem. And we talk about the injuries, the nagging stuff. Like I guess Churio's hands bugging him. Tarang's got a sprained thumb. Like
then Murph yesterday is like, oh, by the way, I misspoke. Actually, Tarang doesn't have a sprained thumb. It's actually Churio. Sorry,
Churio
guys.
Does.
Like, wrong guy. How do you mix those guys up? Like
when we're messing that part up by the maybe we got some issues.
Tarang got a big knock yesterday, and he continues. You expect him, or in the series he gets a.
And he got robbed from another one by the Crone Zone, Jake Cronenworth.
Brooke
Fletcher was excited about that one.
And by the way, not only did he pitch in the series, but El Gary hit the home run to get him going.
He was the main offense. I mean,
in
really,
2 of the runs.
I did think that was just the case. All you needed was him to pitch to wake up the bats when that thing blasted.
That would have been
orbit.
such a nice one to get. And Mason Miller walked 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you had a chance off him.
They had a chance. They had a chance. Like it's still a long shot because he's really good, but
sure. But
it's fascinating to watch and to argue about whether this offense is good or functional or can it win. Yeah, as we've said, the Brewers when they're going and when they're rolling, they can beat anybody. They can also lose to anybody.
Well, you mentioned butterfly effect, and I promised an inspirational text from Rhonda. And
Rhonda.
So speaking of butterflies, morning, gentlemen, I finally released 3 male monarch butterflies. You know she raises monarch butterflies.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
And, of course, I named them appropriately, so we've all got one. Drew, Billy, and Armand. Their pictures there. I'm heartbroken with the Brewers, but I'm putting positive out there, and I'm likening the Brewers to my monarchs. You start out cute and happy like a caterpillar, then the ugly period transitioning to in the chrysalis, and then finally emerging to fly free. Strong, prevailing against storms during migration. The Brewers will emerge from the ugliness and fly despite these storms. I spit in the face of negativity. Come on, Rhonda, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
We are the monarch butterfly. We are the monarch.
Fantastic.
Well, and I'll tell you, I was a very hungry caterpillar. Before I became that beautiful butterfly, your boy was munching on those plums on Wednesday.
And you can argue. I mean,
4 strawberries on Thursday. I was there for him.
Let's go, baby.
Can't wait for those 5 oranges tomorrow on Friday, and then that Saturday that I'm gonna feast. Oh goodness, it's gonna be fun.
And I get it. Going through an ugly transform and becoming as beautiful as I am, I can relate to that. As the monarch, as my.
Oh my goodness.
I also like Maggie. Tell them MLB to quit scheduling 17 games in 17 days. It's already happened once this season. And that turned into 18 games in 17 days. September is just as ugly. Does it happen to every team? By the way, my husband is tired of hearing me bitch about the Brewers schedule. Well, Maggie, that's fine. You can gripe to all your friends here on the Huddle as well. But they only had, once the calendar flipped or post All-Star break, I think they had 6 off days.
Yeah.
After the All-Star break. Like it was going to stack up. The rent was going to come due for the early season off days that they got. There were a lot of Thursday off in that month of April.
In the month of August, the Brewers have had 2 games where they've scored more than 4 runs. So they're due for some crooked numbers. Maybe that'll come when they get home after a day off Monday. We'll see. But regression is real, and they're due.
Maybe they just need to smack a couple of Dodger dogs.
There you go.
Good.
Right? I mean,
That's all it takes.
Just house a couple of Dodger dogs, channel the old Babe Ruth, who was real PCA. And then just all of a sudden go in and mash like 3 or 4 homers.
Sounds
I think
like a plan.
Could sound like
All
easy enough.
I think there's one Glazer left in the box. Dolph is coming in next, and we're going to see if he wants it.
Oh, he's going to have it
3
today
days
before
old.
it gets fully cleaned out.
That's right. And he's off the next couple of days. So Dolph will be in. It's halftime. You're in the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Halftime of the Thursday edition of the Huddle. Drew, Billy, and Armin bringing it to you. Scott Dolphin is here from FM 106 Country Station down the hall. Good morning, Dolph.
Hi, Drew. What's up, fellas?
So plenty Packers tonight against the Steelers, and we're picking through what probably has to rank as the Brewers' worst loss of the year yesterday. One that we got to see unfold.
Yeah, watching the highlights from Monday, I thought that was stinging. And then yesterday was just, you got that sinking feeling in the late innings that it was probably going to happen. But then, Brewers, what was it, the 11th?
The 11th.
Yeah.
That was your reprieve.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to take one and then carry that mo into L.A.
And Two for 15 runners in scoring position with 10 strikeouts.
And it was set up pretty sweet too, because I was at the State Fair yesterday while the game is finishing up. I thought that we were going to be able to watch the end of the game and then roll through, but we enjoyed the extra innings wandering through. Every TV at every bar has the game on. People are going crazy when they take the lead. The Lara catch gets a big pop, and then an instant flood out, almost like the pig race is letting out, where all of a sudden the stand's just empty and there's just a sea of people rolling through. That was Goolsby's and the worst bar in every camp bar that there was. Everybody just flooding out right after the last time.
Sure.
Like, all right, well, I guess we can go find the potato.
Suddenly the old fashioned at Camp Bar didn't taste quite as sweet.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted another Turtle Sunday. I did, but
just like the non-Brewers play, we talked about Ashby not covering first. Terang gets thrown out trying to steal as the placed runner at second base. He gets thrown out for the first out, trying to steal third.
That was a weird one.
You're in scoring position, Bryce. You're fast enough to score on just about any single.
Yeah, that stung.
What are you doing? And then Lara in that situation, Lara gets a pitch timer, a strike. He loses a strike to a pitch timer, like a clock violation. Can't happen.
You think he wanted that steal to get two just because of like how bad they'd been with runners in scoring position getting hits? You think the impetus was like, I got to create something, give ourselves two sacrifice
I don't know what
chances?
the impetus was, but it was a boneheaded play. You can't. It's too risky to even do it. But if you're going to steal it, you can't get thrown out.
Yes.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Well, but it's like
he was out by a mile.
Yeah, and it's like Lockridge the other night, though. Like at some point, you do know when you get a good jump or not, right? And like there is I know it's tough you have to commit or not, but like Lockridge gets an awful jump the other night when he tries to steal second, ends the game. Yeah. And it felt like the same thing for Terang. It's like, if you know that you don't have it, you get thrown out by that much. It feels like there was more of a hint that you weren't going to be able to get in there.
What do you guys read into these players only meetings? It happens in every sport when you're struggling, and the Brewers held one yesterday after the game. Do you believe in this? What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, it's like, it's a lot of eyewash, but it's also, if it works, you say it was great.
Then it's a turning point.
Yes, but a lot of teams have meetings after a lot of losses, and it doesn't really. My take on that was shaped by Damian Miller, the lacrosse native who used to play for the Brewers, and he played for the Diamondbacks when they won the World Series. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to him during that run, and he said, we had a couple times this year where we had to have, we had meetings, like, because they had a very veteran team. They all seemed to. They had Matt Williams, Luis Gonzalez, Council was on there.
They'd all been
Randy
around.
Johnson, Schilling. He's like, we've had a couple of team meetings this year, but we tend to do it on the days going into games when Schilling or Johnson pitch. We're not idiots. Like, we'll have the meeting, and then they'll go out and pitch good, and we'll win a game, and it'll be like, the meeting really worked. But we kind of like seeded the clouds there a little bit. We kind of like primed the pump. Like we're not idiots. Like
that's brilliant.
But he did say most meetings in baseball are stupid and eyewash and just like.
Well, because it's so tough.
But
like, what are you going to do?
You're clearing the air or whatever, but it's like.
Grip the bat more, right?
Go,
grip the bat less. Try to figure it out.
Let's try to win. Let's try to get a hit with runners in scoring position.
I think so much of it has to just be like exuding more confidence in each other. Again, as nerdy as that might sound, and some people think that it's very, very waxy and too nice. There is something to
your point.
You got to feel the confidence.
This power of friendship thing, they're in it together, and it's like, I want to come through in this situation to help all the other guys. It's not just a self-aggrandizement, right? That's a good trait. But everybody is squeezing the handle a little bit.
It puts more pressure on you to not let someone else down.
It's palpable when you see guys trying to do too much, to use their.
The Terang steal is exactly.
Terang steal,
exactly what you're talking
extraneous, about. Extraneous, and then guys are trying. It's not for lack of effort, but again. Try easier. Go get hammered. Play a game hungover. Do whatever you got to do.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
I think that's probably what the theme of that meeting was. Sometimes you say WTF.
Yeah.
I always say, it's like people say, well, who's the leader? Who's going to call the meeting? It's like, leadership in baseball, especially, leadership is not who calls the meeting and said, let's go, guys. It's who gets the 2-run hit with 2 outs.
Mm-hmm.
That's leadership.
Exactly.
A hit with 2 outs. drive in a run.
And frankly, I don't care if it's Luis Lara or Christian Yelich, as long as they win one that rolls through here. But I am in on the go out and grab a couple with the boys mantra. Like, they're getting up to LA. Those places stay open very, very late on Wednesdays. Let's go out, and I'm not saying we got to stay out till 5 a.m. We got to see sun up and go get breakfast on Rodeo Avenue before you go in here and take a nap.
Drive.
But go out here and
sorry, I had.
Oh, he's slapping on you.
Sorry, it's a famous road. I didn't want to be that guy, but I had to do it. So, sorry, Billy. Just Rodeo Drive.
Billy's eye. All right, just to lighten the mood here right now, I've got a Rodeo Drive little story here. When I lived on the West Coast, my sister and brother-in-law came out to visit, and we did a couple days in LA, and we visited Beverly Hills, and we were on Rodeo Drive just to window shop, and just to have some fun. And a couple places we went into, and one was a perfume store.
Nice.
And my brother-in-law is hilarious. He should be a stand-up comedian. First off, he went up to the security guard and said, "Is that a Texas Fifth?" He called it, of Chanel No. 5 over the window. And if so, how much is it? And then we go into a painting store where they didn't have a painting less than $5,000 in those days. And they had some as high as $50,000, $60,000. And again, armed guards around the place. And he walked up to one of them and said, you got any dog shooting pool or playing poker? I'd like that for my rec room. And this guy did not smile.
Damn. I was hoping all of a sudden he said, yeah, and it's 84,000,
right.
bub.
Exactly.
Right.
I'll give you one if you want to buy it, but I'm going to charge you this much.
Was my one and only time on Rodeo Drive.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I love that one. Yeah, I mean, listen, the dogs playing poker was a staple poster in my dorm room.
Especially when it was in black velvet. With the light, with the
awesome,
black lights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I had that one.
So Billy and I are going to be doing Packers OT. Like, that's the one way we stay awake for a West Coast game. It'll be on while we're
fired
doing
up
Packers
about
OT
it.
tonight.
It's a great reason to be up.
Yeah. So what'd you think of Aaron Rodgers' comments that he was bummed out that the game wasn't being played in Green Bay?
Oh, I shared him.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed. I thought the NFL should have done a little IOU. We had the conversation earlier today of like how it matters if he plays or not. It won't change what the overall viewing is. It would be very, very. I would be very bummed though if the game was in Green Bay and he didn't play. He doesn't play in Acrisure. I'll feel okay about it.
Yeah,
that's. I'm with you there, and I just don't think he's going to play.
So these schedules though are out. I mean, they're not out, but it seems like you play the same opponent in the non-conference year after year, doesn't it?
The preseason a lot of times is some deals like that. That's a good point.
Jordy Nelson got hurt in Pittsburgh.
Home deals.
Have they been playing the Steelers every single year in the preseason, or does
No,
it change up a little bit?
They have played them a couple of times since that in 2015. They went on a run where I think they've played the Browns each of the last couple of years.
Okay.
They stunted that one. I assume they'll play the Cardinals for the next 3 years. Right until Mike gets fired.
Yeah, I would think they could lay that in. And
right, I would bank in that they'll do
practices.
something there with a joint practice. They've now played the Broncos the last couple of years. Affinity maybe for Sean Payton.
I wonder if you could put a request in as to who you'd like to play.
For
me, it seems like the Bears always play the Browns, they always play the Bills, and they always play the Chiefs. It just seems like those are the three teams they play.
I was just going to say, it feels like a Bears-Bills preseason game has been happening since I was in first grade.
So I don't know if that's the case, but it just seems like preseason.
Well, I mean, I'm excited for the Bears and Colts battles that are coming up here pretty soon. For the Battle of Indiana.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, a big announcement maybe today, Billy. You were saying
I was reading yesterday online that apparently there is an expected Bears stadium announcement coming later on here today of maybe not like a full finalized deal, but one that is getting closer and closer.
Gary Bears.
The Gary Bears.
Maybe Hammond, Gary. Why not?
Yeah.
Indiana Bears.
Yeah. That is the
something called Ben Devine is the one that had said a finalized stadium deal is expected tomorrow with the Chicago Bears landing in Indiana. Per source, Indiana is so heavily incentivizing the deal as to include a name change to Indiana in the team name when the stadium completes. That shockingly had 4.4 million views yesterday.
That's some good rage made there.
But David Haw of The Score and formerly, I think, of the Sun-Times had said that sources indicate the Bears are expected to make an announcement regarding the stadium project. They haven't addressed it for months. Bears rep and state officials across the border that they'll want to hear what the team has to say, raising hopes again. So we'll see. It should be interesting coming up here later on. Maybe there is a little confirmation as to where they're going.
I would still be surprised if they end up across the state line, although that basically is still the Chicago area. I don't think people that live there really consider themselves Colts fans? I would think a
I
lot
think
of
they're
them are
probably
still Bears fans.
more Chicagoans.
Correct.
I've known a
Yes.
lot of people over years that live there and
Yeah.
then commute into the city.
They said
It's
twice
all-
the house for half the taxes.
They think they're Southsiders. Yeah, basically. Sox fans and stuff down there. They think they're Southsiders. And a lot of Chicago is on the South Side is closer to Indiana. We've talked about this. It's not just where, but in the end, is this all just a game of chicken for Arlington? This is so interesting.
I think it's a game of chicken with somewhere in Illinois with the Illinois legislature and the governor, all that
Mhm.
stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it is a game of chicken, but it's just ridiculous that it's gotten to this
But
point.
they might walk it all the way up to the point where it's like, all right, we're doing it. We have to follow through with this. We're doing Indiana.
Yeah. I mean,
if
if
want to get nuts, let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
Better believe it, yes.
Because if you want to see Snoopy and Prickly Pete, right, Drew, the horses, George Costanza's got 2 horses. So that
Let's
you
go.
have to go all the way to the end. Now, I don't believe the Indiana Bears part, though. That's hard to believe. But
No.
you never know.
Did they- I mean, that would
I
be
didn't think the Lakers would be sold yesterday and bought by Bob Iger, for $2 billion more than they were last year, $2.5 billion.
$2.5 billion more.
Talk about just flip teams now. They're flipping teams like houses.
My man Mark Walter, one of the best ROIs you've ever seen in the entire world. 1 year had the Lakers turned in an extra $2.5 billion.
That's not bad.
He sat and watched his team play for a year and then flipped them for $2.5 billion.
And you know what? He just covered the bill on Otani. Mark Walter, owner of the Dodgers, I just covered the bill and quadrupled it for the $700 million or $682 million. They still owe Otani.
If you can afford a team anywhere, LA would be the play, other than the Cowboys, because they're kind of in
New
a.
York.
They just got the Cowboys just got evaluated as the highest and most profitable, most valuable franchise at $15.5 billion.
And then the Rams are second, right?
And they reportedly were talking about the Vegas franchise. It's going to cost $10 billion to get into the NBA. They're like, why on earth would we do that and then have to build a brand? All we got to do is pay an extra $2.5 and we get the biggest one.
Like the rebuild project in Milwaukee on 94.
Oh, good God.
Price keeps going up.
Yeah, and so is the duration. Mark Walter from Iowa, by the way.
I didn't know that.
Cedar Rapids.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
I was not aware of that.
Went to Creighton University.
You can make it big if you go to Creighton.
And Northwestern for his law degree.
Oh, smart guy.
Guggenheim Partners. Well, he owns the Dodgers and now no longer the Lakers.
And no longer the Lakers, but
pretty good situation.
Grew up in
pretty good
Cedar Rapids.
circumstance. Yep.
Kid's done okay.
Don't they also own the Sparks? And he's got all those teams, I think.
He also controls Chelsea in the Premier.
I was going to say, yeah, also
Wow.
Chelsea is in that grouping of the sports investments that they have.
How many brands are left for him? I mean, that's wild. But I guess he sold the Lakers now.
To own he sold the Lakers and made $2.5 billion.
Made $2.5 billion.
To Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, Jared's brother.
Yeah, and Kushner
Jared's
apparently
baby brother.
one of
yeah.
the big guys that has a large sum of the money. And Bob Iger runs Disney, and then he's like, you know what? I'm going to retire, but I got to have something to do. I'm going to be so bored if I don't do something. I might as well own the Lakers.
When I hear stories like this, I always think when I retire, I'm gone. I'm going to enjoy retirement. But I guess some people just always have to be doing something.
That's what my pop said too. And now all of a sudden he's delivering a couple of days a week.
Yeah.
You know, I got to get out of the house and
he?
do something.
Was he doing the DoorDash thing or something or what?
Oh, you did anything and everything.
Okay,
There's
good.
a little bit of cash in the pocket. Big Bill's getting in.
Good.
God.
What am I going to do?
Mark
Sit around
Walter
all day?
also is the main guy for Andretti Global.
There's
in the
another
racing
one.
world.
See, how many more can we think of?
Indy, and the spinoff Gainbridge, the insurance company that they have, is the Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Oh, yeah. And
So
Indy.
he bought the naming rights there.
I wonder if he'll be in Milwaukee in a couple weeks for Indy racing. That's coming
Good
to the
question.
line.
Good
Very
question.
might. Very much might. I'm
Well,
excited for that.
He'll be in Milwaukee if he wants to see the Dodgers play in the playoffs, maybe, because then he'll be
Come on
watching
now.
them this weekend, probably.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they were. I think he was sitting right there in those sweet owners seats right alongside last year. I had to look at his.
Just wild. Oh, wild.
Did you see Antonazio in San Diego? He just looked like any other Joe out there.
Just hanging out,
enjoying some
watching the
weekday
game.
baseball.
Hanging
out.
He had like a 2-day beard, a hoodie on.
I wonder if
Feet
he,
up.
I wonder if he helicoptered to that game, or if he actually had,
Jump on the team
or
and
stayed
stay on
in
the
San
team bus
Diego.
on the way
Probably.
home.
There's some nice places to stay in San Diego. Probably
Probably
stay.
some good oceanfront.
I've made that
properties,
trip.
yes.
I've made that drive, but it's been a long time. What is that? An hour and a half, 2 hours?
We talked about because
At
of busing
least.
there, right? I mean,
Oh,
so
at least I thought it was about 3.
I used to
when we
love
made
it when the
yeah.
Brewers
2.5.
play the Dodgers or the Angels, Dodgers, and Padres, and had a day off in between. I would stay at like the Dana Point Marriott in between. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cliff there. It's amazing setup.
I just remember a lot of nothing on that trip back in the day. The Marine base
it's
is down
pretty
there
boring.
in Oceanside, that area.
Yep.
But yeah, once you get out of
Carlsbad,
Orange
Oceanside.
County, it gets a little.
Yeah. It's a little. It's not a very exciting drive for sure.
I heard it's a great train ride.
It can be a long drive at any time of the day.
Any time of day, any time of night.
I made that drive once, like after midnight, and it's like, where the hell are all these people going between San Diego and LA? Crazy.
I've never, and despite the fact I lived there a long time, I never made that drive all the way up Pacific Coast Highway to the top of California. I've heard that's incrable.
Yeah,
that's gotta be fun.
Done parts of it.
Got to do it.
The PCH.
Petco to Chavez Ravine is exactly 120 miles. So whether or not the traffic.
I was going to say whether or not that's 120
4 hours.
miles. Yeah.
4 hours at least.
Yeah, so 3 to 4 hours.
Oh, 120 miles takes you 2. There will be 4.
And Dodger Stadium's a trip because it's in a neighborhood, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Awesome. It's just in a neighborhood.
Dolph, thank you for dropping by. We'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm back on Tuesday. Tomorrow, I'm going to get the royal treatment with my colonoscopy.
The best nap of the year.
Yeah, Drew's been selling
the best
selling me
nap
big
of
on
the
this
year.
thing.
I love it. I do. I sign up to do it
with a tickle.
I do it every year.
I don't know if insurance would cover that, but
probably not.
if you want to put it on
recreation. You clean your system out.
Yeah,
the fasting,
lose a couple pounds. Yeah. Today's liquid diet only, and of course, there's still Glazers left in your arm.
Of course.
Just staring at you. Well, that 3-day-old Glazer might clean you out more than the broth.
I'll have it Tuesday if it's still there.
We'll be right back. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armin huddled up on a Thursday. Packers against the Steelers tonight. That's the warm-up, and then Brewers-Dodgers doubleheader for you. And if you're into the Little League stuff, you got Whitefish Bay playing Little League on, I think they're on at noon, and the Whitefish Bay Juniors, who are also playing, will be on ESPN at like 7, I think. So
come on now. Let's
plenty going on.
Let's figure out a way to get ourselves in there. Come on, boys.
Plenty going on.
They call themselves the Blue Dukes, or is that above our pay grade? No,
I'm not sure if
Little
I know.
League All-Stars in there.
Yeah. Time for a little Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling, employee-owned, best HVAC in the area. DonovanJorgensen.com. Billy, who do you like?
Sadly, Alex Bregman, 3 for 3 last night, 7 RBIs on 3 homers for the Cubs as they shrink the Brewers' lead in the NL Central now.
The Brewers hit 3 homers in a week.
Yeah.
That's a
good prop.
How many weeks have they gone with not hitting 3 homers in a week?
That's a great
Like if you went through the entire season, how
Which,
many would it be?
Again, is like, how are they 5th in the league in runs scored?
We might have to put Hunter on that on his flight home. That might have to be a plain study for Hunter to roll through. But in the not category, they lived and they actually nearly had the hot category renamed after the Boston Red Sox. They went 27-3 over 30 games. Drew, they've now lost 5 straight games as they drop one to the Blue Jays yesterday. So all folks near Fenway and Yonkwee Way, very frustrated. Sky might be falling there again in Boston because they might have blown their wad trying to get back into the race. Now let's see if they have enough to be able to stay in it.
Regression is real.
It is stark
when
there as well.
35-3.
Crazy.
It's what's gonna happen next?
Also, hottest team in baseball, or the hottest team in baseball, is also now the best team in baseball. The Tampa Bay Rays take that over the Brewers with a half-game lead now for the best record in baseball and a 0.05 of a point winning percentage better with a 9-game winning streak, and they thumped the A's in that minor league park in Sacramento over the last couple of days. 10-6, 12-4, 8-4 yesterday. And Junior Caminero now has 35 bombs on the year, just catering all over that place. And as well, one of the other teams that has remained as one of the hotter teams in ball, Houston Astros, they lead the AL West. The Brewers are going to see the team that a lot of people thought was going to be leading the AL West, the Seattle Mariners, who are now 5.5 games back. They lose 6 straight games at this moment. So they'll probably win the final game of their series coming up on Sunday and then come in feeling red hot at 10 games under 500, right? For the way the Brewers are rolling right now, that just might be the case.
DonovanJorgensen.com, your experts on heating, cooling, and plumbing, locally owned, employee owned for 40 years. All right, we're going to be back and we'll finish up strong this last hour as we'll start the pregame show for Packers Steelers. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. Every baseball team over the course of 162 games has a slump. Case in point, the Brewers still have baseball's second best record, even though,
Campusano base hit right field. Lara has it. Here's the throw home. It is on the line. Save. Boy, Luis Lara got it there in plenty of time, but Sanchez went behind the bag to make the catch, and in sliding was Song, and the Padres sweep the Brewers. A final score in 11 innings of 4-3.
Jeff Levering on Brewers TV with the call, summing it up perfectly. Now it's up the California coast to Los Angeles, where the Dodgers await. Tonight's series opener begins at 9:10. Shane Drowan pitches against Roki Sasaki. Milwaukee's lead in the Central down to 3 after the Cubs won again 12-6 at Washington. And tonight, the Packers open up their preseason against Mike McCarthy and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Diller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? Hey, 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
Armin Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Drew, Billy, and Armin bringing it to you on this Thursday in the Goodland. Game day in the Goodland. Welcome into the 7 o'clock club. You're joining the 5 o'clock clubbers, 6 o'clock clubbers. You 7 o'clockers, good to have you aboard. We'll have a wake and bake story for those of you who are interested. That'll come up later in the program. We're also talking Packers Steelers tonight, the exhibition opener. What is there to watch? What will we be focusing on? What will we be talking about when we fire up Packers OT at around, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe even a little bit earlier, Drew.
Maybe.
These preseason games very much can take on a shape of their own, especially later on when it turns into more of a UFL game. You don't know how quickly that second half would be. They can't turn on the running clock like they have in high school football for 36 after 2. Very much a shame. Like into the middle of the third quarter, turn that bad boy on and just run it, and you could get yourself through it.
Yeah, as much as some of us might like to, and even those involved in the building, but they won't do that, unfortunately. So they did end the one. It was a couple years ago. We ended one early though with the
that was 23.
Yeah,
2023 against the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
It was 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 10 and a half minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I think they had done, if I'm not mistaken, they had done 2 joint practices before that.
They had at least they had at least
2.
done one. I think you're right. I think it was 2.
And it was Isaiah Bolden was the guy, and he had the head neck injury, and then LaFleur and Belichick just kind of
walked out
on it.
Sweet.
I think they were like, there was a long delay, and it just sucked the life out of it, and everybody. And then I think there was some push to keep playing, and the refs were like, let's keep playing, and then LaFleur and Belichick
were like, we're out of here.
We're done.
No.
We got enough. And so they just called the game, and we did a shortened post game show. I remember it was creepy though.
Yeah, I was going to say it had a very, very eerie feeling.
He got hit by a teammate. He crashed.
Yes, it was like friendly fire. Yeah,
that's a good way to put it, Billy. It was an eerie night. Yeah, and I think everyone was just kind of waiting for results on how he was doing, because obviously he took him to the hospital and all that stuff. Yeah. And all's well, thankfully. But
Patriots were declared the winner 21-17 at the time. And so Bolden he was in the hospital overnight, and it was pretty scary. as I recall.
No, I'm right there with you, and it did. It really put a damper on the full week, which was pretty solid work for the Packers and Patriots at that time. And it shows that like these games, 1,000% matter a lot. They are extremely important to those that are playing in the time. But to the end of the day, or at the end of the day, the folks that are running the teams are like, let's just make sure that we get out of here safely, even if it's the most important guy on the team or the 90th man on the roster. They're also worried about being able to practice on Sunday and making sure that they have as many of their guys ready to roll for the rest of camp, because it's a weird spot, Drew. 1 week, or today we open up the preseason. 1 month from today, you'll open up the regular season, and then they'll go through 18 weeks where it is as grueling as it has ever been. So it's difficult to be able to figure out how and when you start hitting a little bit of a peak and when you start hitting a little bit of a stride to get ready.
Yep. It's so tonight it begins in earnest. We'll be watching the rookies. We'll be watching the fringe guys. We'll be watching the kicker.
We'll be seeing the kicker. We'll be seeing Wayne and my boy J. Michael Sturdivant, number 87, running a lot of routes late into the night. Him and Isaiah Nair, Will Shepard, probably all battling for maybe one final spot on offense. But I mentioned Savion Williams in the wide receiver room, Drew. I'm also excited for what Bo Melton and Sky Moore roll through, because both of those guys, I would assume, are on the team.
Yeah.
Right. Like Sky Moore is paid to be one of the top kick returners and punt returners in the league.
I definitely think
Bo
so.
Melton has been as core of a special teams player as there has maybe been in Green Bay for the last 5 years. That's 6 wide receivers right there. So a lot of times you're not keeping 7. Those guys have all flashed. They paid Sturdivant some money in the pre-draft process. Be interesting to see if anybody could maybe edge out Bo Melton for one of those spots. I'd be stunned, but we'll see.
But we'll see. Anything can happen. Hit us up with your thoughts, 877-794-1873, NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. We're going to get to our superhero of the day, but we also need to note that it's coming out in drips and drabs as it often does. But we'll get the Bucks schedule and the NBA complete schedule at 2:00 today.
Hey, let's go. We got their NBA Cup schedule
preseason games and the NBA Cup games.
And the Bucks released it with our quest for the NBA Cup begins on November 6th.
The only game that
two-time Cup champion.
The only game anybody's going to circle, well, I guess people would say the home opener, but is that going to be against Miami? Do you want to play Giannis early in the season, late in the season?
No,
that's
I don't think
one game anybody's going to want to go to this year.
That'll be the one.
Giannis's return to Milwaukee.
Philadelphia, even though you don't know who will actually be playing in there, the Knicks always will draw a little bit of a crowd. But I don't want Giannis to return on the home opener. You want that one to be at least a little separate. I want that one to be for Braden Burries and company. Let's celebrate the boys that are in the Buck uniforms for one night.
So the Bucks will not get a major holiday game.
No,
probably for a decade.
Would doubt that.
They are out of the Christmas Day rotation.
They were even out of the Christmas Day rotation with Giannis the last couple of years.
I was going to say they weren't always a shoe-in.
Yeah, they weren't always a shoe-in.
I mean, I don't even know that they could supplant the Globetrotters for New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. They played New Year's Eve last year.
They did. They played New Year's Eve last year.
So they won't get a lot of high fashion games, but the game when the Heat visit, that's the game.
That's got to be a weekend though, too, right?
You would think, man, maybe not, because the Bucks tend to draw okay on Saturday nights and like Tuesdays.
I was going to say, I think they'd prefer it to be a Wednesday night.
Wednesdays are a slog sometimes.
Right?
So.
Why not? If you're going to do it on a night to pack people in, that'd be the night to do it, right? To get people in on a Tuesday or Wednesday or during the week.
And it will probably one of the networks will want that game, right? One of the networks will want that game, whether or not it's
better than an NBA
Prime
network game. You would think
NBA, ESPN, or something like that.
NBC, Peacock, something. Somehow.
Somebody will get it, and it'll get a decent amount of run. But it is Giannis's Miami Heat run. They have their Christmas Days matchup, and their whole NBA Cup grouping is loaded in that one. Now the Bucks grouping is not nearly as difficult. I think they play the Magic, the Nets, the Raptors, a much calmer grouping than the one that the Heat find themselves in. The Pacers, Cavs, Sixers, and Knicks.
Yeah.
I mean, that five-some is as good of a group as you're going to get for some early season games. So I'm excited for that. I'm very excited to see him take on the Knicks in MSG.
Christmas Day is Giannis at Boston, and that's the what could have been the game.
Very much so. Yes. Uh-huh. And I had wanted the Christmas Day game to be Jaylen Brown going back to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
But
that would have been good too.
But this one I think is almost better. This is the gift you almost had under the tree. Now instead you have Paul George. So like that is a good slap in the face to Celtics fans that I'm a big fan of being able to enjoy.
And they're trying to do what they can to still take an NBA wise to still hold control of Christmas Day, which is getting
Christmas
harder
Day. Then that's the Hugo Gonzalez game because the Celtics traded Hugo Gonzalez. The Bucks might have sent Giannis to Boston.
Crazy, yes, that would have been 100%.
He better go nuts.
I love that.
But I mean, I really think the issue for the NBA now is people are looking to the NFL mostly for Christmas Day now, and they're going to dominate the calendar. So, I mean, obviously, I still haven't have fans that are going to watch the game, but now that the NFL, it's going to take precedence for a lot of people because I think it's one of those. And when the schedule came out of the huge Christmas Day slate of sports,
oh, it's awesome.
Like what you're going to be able to watch that day, and then the whole comments come out, and we have the same argument about is it too much or do you want to spend your time with family? I always think. Anyway, that the NBA is it's on, but it's also background while people are hanging around. But the NFL is one where people are more locked into, because of fantasy or whatever reason it may be. The NFL is king. That's more of the games that people are locked into on the couch, don't want to turn off. Because with the NBA, you can still kind of have it on the background during the festivities, which I think is less of a big deal. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how it all rolls through. But another holiday in the trenches, but another holiday watching sports, right? And for some people, it's the gift that keeps on giving on Christmas.
Believe it. The fact that the Packers have avoided, Thanksgiving, they got the Wednesday before.
Mm-hmm. Wednesday before.
We have Blackout Wednesday, so that's sort of.
So
the
we'll
same,
be working late into the night then.
Right.
That kind of, cramps our style on that one.
Do you still hit the bars on Wednesday night? That's the night, right? It used to be at least.
Yeah,
but
I haven't gone to the bars on the night before Thanksgiving in a while. However, for them to be one of the premier Netflix ones, that slate for the NFL, they're pulling no punches. Bears Packers, best rivalry in the league. Bills Broncos was one of the most compelling playoff games you had all year last year before Josh Allen decided to turn it over 4 times. And then, oh, by the way, ho-hum, wrap up Christmas night. Make sure you take at least a little bit of one of those naps in between dinner and lunch because you're going to want to stay up for Rams and Seahawks starting up at the tail end, a rematch of the NFC title game. They went with 3 of the heaviest matchups you could get to be able to take out the NBA.
Packers Bears Christmas Day at noon.
Cannot wait.
Oh, that's going to be a banger.
Awesome.
That stretch.
Just family.
Kind of sneaky stretch for the Packers because they come back from their bye with the Wednesday, the Wipeout Wednesday game. They go to New Orleans after that, after the week.
Mm-hmm.
So mini bye. So that is a weird
2 strange mini buys is what it almost turned into.
It's like their bye week's like cut in half.
2 week and a half. There's
bifurcated
2 full,
bye week.
They don't really have a 2 week break.
They're when they play the Vikings and go into their bye, and then they come out Wednesday in the Rams, and then they take the week off. Then the Saints in New Orleans. That's a great road trip.
Phenomenal.
I'm going to go to New Orleans like a month before that, I think.
I was going to say, if there's a road game to go to that you and the boys are trying to go to, you're trying to go to New Orleans.
Then home against the Bills on a night game.
That's going to be a phenomenal night.
Home against the Dolphins on a noon start. And then the
Jeff Hafley.
And then the Christmas Day game is 5 days later after that. So
5 days later, and then they go on to Monday Night Football against the Houston Texans.
That's right.
Both teams expecting to be very, very interesting and very compelling.
So that's the stretch, man. That's an interesting little gauntlet.
To finish 4 of the last 5 games at home, and one of them being against Detroit to wrap up the season. That's one of the most favorable parts of a schedule that you're going to be able to find.
Yeah, that could be the Tyrod Taylor game though against the Lions, as is tradition, where you're sitting guys and playing the Matt Flynn Detroit game finale. Like we've got a good history of that.
Or
right?
2 or 3 years ago when that was for one of the final playoff spots in the league, or for the division, or for the 1 seed like Detroit played 2 years ago at home against Minnesota. So the best division in football. I got a real sneaky suspicion that game is going to be in prime time because it's going to be extremely meaningful for the Packers and Lions there in Week 18.
Very well could be. The division is quite wide open, and the fact that the Packers open against the Vikings, it's going to get a chance to plant the flag right there.
Put it in pen right out of the gates, and then to go and hopefully just mop up against the Jets in their home opener and come back for a Thursday night home opener on Prime with Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit on the call on September 24th. What's better than that? Welcoming in the Dirty Birds. That's going to be a phenomenal one.
Oh my goodness. That sounds good. We're getting Packers Steelers. Who's broadcasting that tonight? Is it nationally?
It's on NFL Network. So if you're watching on the NFL Network copy, it will be the Steelers broadcast. But otherwise, locally on the Packers television network, it'll be Kevin Harlan, John Kuhn. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, always a great duo. Always a lot of fun to see what Kevin Harlan's hair is going to look like. It's always a lot of fun. I love that.
And he is one of those dudes too. Like, he's just so good.
He's just so good.
He makes even bad preseason games is redundant usually.
Yeah,
usually
it makes it still interesting.
It makes it interesting. Kuhn will be good.
I'll be honest. I'm very much looking forward to the Cousins commercials.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like what kind of goofy
those
stuff
Cousins spots have generally been where Kevin Harlan has been able to really shine and flex the muscle.
You can count on him for one viral moment, I feel like, per game, or at least per preseason. Like there should be something funny in there. The Cousins spot, something funny with John. So I'm looking forward to that. It's always going to be good to see what pops up.
And here, Wayne and Larry already with one call under their belt for family night. I did suggest, Drew, on Training Camp Live this week with Wayne that we keep the Wayne cam. That family night Wayne and Rock cam was pretty impressive.
They definitely need it.
Wayne said there's nothing people would want to watch less. I totally disagreed. However, I think we might acquiesce to the pros and the Hall of Famers. But they'll be in midseason form coming up here because Wayne's had 2.5 weeks, as you joked yesterday with our friends out in Madison, 2.5 weeks of training for play-by-play with a 90-man roster here at Packers training camp.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's always the challenge. But, every now and then Packers social media puts out a video of Wayne making a big call like during the season. I'm like, well, we need more of this. Like that, I love that when that happens. So it's possible. We
need more of Armin reacting in real time. Oh wait, you're standing behind screens and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
as
good as we used to do on Twitch.
I don't think I'm as exciting. Because
Armin's
I'm
watch parties
on,
were quite the thing. It's between. It's like what did I enjoy more? The highlights of Armin just reacting in real time and just standing and pacing and screaming, or Hunter's dance party.
Yeah, both
were epic.
Both were good. Both were good. I watch Hunter's dance parties every week. I love.
I was gonna say Hunter's dance parties, especially when you guys were on location. The right after the how's the corn?
Yeah, I saw
point. Every once in a while, a single mom being able to grab Hunter there for a quick duet right there in the middle of a Friday night dance party. That's a tough thing to pass up.
Last homestand, I was in the Brewers press box, and Kurt Hoag's just like, "Hey, last night we were bored. We were watching Hunter's dance party videos again."
Oh yeah, they're legendary viewing.
I love it.
You can find them.
Oh,
you can find them.
Hilarious.
They're legendary.
That Brewers
viewing.
beat, Drew. They do have some fun together, don't they?
They do. They had a golf outing the other day. And
that group, they're having some fun there together. I mean, Armin wants a documentary made about the guys that cover the Packers.
Yeah,
he hasn't called for that yet for the guys that cover the Brewers. But they got a sweet crew rolling there. I am excited for, as you mentioned, broadcast crews. We hadn't talked a ton about the Romo, Watt, Ross Tucker elevation there at CBS. It's kind of fascinating as more and more people are talking about it, Drew. Yes, they're worried about this year and whatever has happened or has not happened yet. All allegations are still pending for Tony Romo here locally. But there's almost more people that are wondering how much this was CBS wondering of do they care about what broadcast and who's broadcasting the games this year? Or the 2028 Super Bowl when they have it once again. We're into ESPN having the Super Bowl this year, and these networks are all planning out. Maybe this is all one last Super Bowl that they all get before a streaming network ends up being able to snatch it up. So it's a cool one to see. But love JJ Watt going up to the number one booth, and Ross Tucker is one of the guys that not a lot of people hear. He is excellent calling games. So I'm fired up that he's going to be with Ian Eagle and actually on television every single week.
It's going to be pretty cool. Got to say.
We would get those guys all the time on Westwood One games. So folks on the radio side have been treated to their stylings for a long time. They're going to be pretty spectacular going there onto the number 2 game on CBS this year.
Yeah. When we come back, we will announce our current electric superhero of the day. Callcurrent.com, the website. We will spin through that. We'll continue to take your thoughts. I guess, and I want to know, give us a list. We got to give people a list of top 5 things to watch.
I got 5 guys that I want you to be able to keep your eye on for later.
5 guys or 5 things you got to watch tonight in the preseason game. We'll do that. We'll have our superhero. Might have to choke down the last Glazer since Dolph didn't take it.
It's all yours.
I'm
bequeathing it to you guys.
Is it safe?
That's a good question. I think by the date,
Armin will eat the borderline spoiled food just because he's cheap. So.
The date, the 13th. You got to be careful though, depending on what it is. If it was
be careful.
Cream filled, I wouldn't. But I think the date is the 13th, so we should be good.
All right. You're in the huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. rolling through a Thursday. It's Packer pregame. I mean, the fun starts at 2 o'clock with Doug Russell and Packers game day, but then Packers preview with Dennis Krause on the Packers radio network starting at 4.
Ooh, cannot wait.
Game at 6 from Pittsburgh, and then Packers OT with Drew, Billy, and Armin. The band will be back together, and we'll be on the air tonight until possibly midnight. Maybe a little earlier.
It'll be interesting to see how quickly this thing rolls.
And then how we bounce back and what we talk about tomorrow morning when we're all a little groggy.
And and if you don't get to hear from Jordan Love tonight on Packers OT, you'll hear from him tomorrow morning. You'll hear a little bit of Coach tomorrow morning as well, because most likely if you're going to the 5 o'clock clubbers that are also going to be the Packers OTers with us tonight. That blend might be very shrunken.
The Venn diagram is pretty small.
Yeah, how much?
That's a tight inner circle.
And if you, that might be a whole new club, in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're a 5 o'clock clubber and an OT clubber, you basically are in the club, man.
Speaking of clubs and 5 o'clock clubbers and friends of the Huddle, we will have an exciting announcement in the not too distant future about places that you can come and hang out with us.
All
and
right.
It'll be
Huddle
well
up with
worth
us.
your while.
Yes, sir.
Just going to leave it at that.
Good chances for you to huddle up.
We're going to have a chance for you to huddle up during football season. We're going to get out of the studio a little bit.
And the best part is it won't be at the crack of dawn.
No.
I almost slid another word in there at
Yeah.
the beginning of it, but it won't be before the rooster starts.
Yeah, we're out of safe harbor.
I will State Fair yesterday. I had not seen that many chickens and that many roosters in one spot. That's an impressive freaking bird, dude. There's
right.
My God.
Yeah.
The
big old boys.
I didn't remember chickens there. I knew there was swamp. I know you had pigs. We're obviously going to have some goats, a couple of rabbits, cows just dominating the place.
Absolutely, you're right.
The chicken coops were unbelievable. And these things were barely fitting in there. I'm like, I need one of those waking us up at 5 a.m.
Did you?
I was hoping I was holding there my recorder, my phone, just trying to be able to get some kind of an MP3 to throw into the open. But I apologize, guys.
Some of those big roosters, though. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, some of them are huge.
The one is legit the rooster.
Head,
the one is the legit rooster from Toy Story. The big old white one, the big red head. It was carbon copy. I'm like, that son of a gun's not even fitting in the cage. How on earth are we getting the eggs?
Those are some good looking birds too.
Did you take in a pig race at all? Did you see a pig race?
Drew, I was so mad. I just missed them.
Yeah, the timing's tough.
I could see the flood rolling out, and then it was like next run at 7:30 and say it's like 6:15. I'm like, we were gone. We did hit the giant slide though. We had a 3-year-old on the giant slide.
That's awesome.
He did not like the giant slide. He was not a big fan of going down the giant slide until he went down the giant slide. Then he was proud to tell everybody about it.
Well,
not a big fan of it still, but I let everybody know.
He
I
was
did
a little nervous.
Don't
he
worry
was a
about
little,
it.
Well, sometimes
a little skittish on that bad boy. I don't know. Dad was a little bit nervous about that son of a gun as well.
Up there, man.
I haven't been on it in a while. I was
you're
wondering,
picking up speed on that second bump.
I was wondering how old, do you think to be on the slide? Like, I don't know if they recommend an age at all, but I was thinking about that. And then you try and get the
good question.
Try and get the youngster on there, and then you're like, how old should they be? And then it's like you have to appeal to their courage. Like, are you brave enough to do this? Can you?
Well, he was fired up until we hit about the midway through the stairs. And then he's like,
I got nervous. This is high.
Should we name Carson our superhero of the day, presented by Current Electric?
And not a bad one, or also the individual that stood there and waited for the good minute and a half while we politicked for him to be able to get down because we weren't walking down the steps. That young man, that 15-year-old working at State Fair might have been the superhero of the day, but call current.com. They'll be your superhero because they come in those beautiful trucks, roll through. Check out your electrical system. Well, no job too small for Current Electric to be able to help you out. Call current.com. But if you're really looking to keep your family safe and sound, we're getting out of the summer months. No doubt about it. You see what happened in Indiana? All that flooding rolling through. I mean, some crazy flooding in Indiana. Wild summer storms have been ripping through the Midwest. We've already seen those, sadly, here in Wisconsin. We don't need any more, but we already know Mother Nature will strike once again, and keep your family safe and sound when it does. If the power goes out, you don't want to be sitting there in a stifling hot house, spoiling milk and medicine in the fridge. Get a whole home standby generator system from Current Electric, whole year free of monitoring with a purchase in the month of August. So call current.com, get them out to your house. They'll let you know exactly which one is the right one to be able to put into your home and power you up and keep you safe and sound from those torrential downpours and horrible summer storms that roll through.
All right. Thank you, Current Electric. Call current.com.
Best, dude.
Tonight, watching the game. Things you're watching. Give us your list, Billy. I got a list, but I bet we're going to have some overlap.
So I am going to put number 45, Colin Oliver, on the list of guys that I'm very excited to be able to watch. A year ago, towards the end of the season, we heard the Baby Micah comparisons for Colin Oliver. The internet loves Colin Oliver. I, for one, had not necessarily fallen in love with Colin Oliver in 2025 because we didn't see him at all. He didn't practice. He was basically out until the final 4 weeks of the year. And then people thought the 5th round pick from Oklahoma State was just going to be a cowboy and roll through here and start sacking quarterbacks left and right. Didn't work out that way. But in camp, he has looked explosive. You've seen the speed and the bend around the corner. I want to see it with pads on, and to be able to, Drew, if you can get to the quarterback, can you get the quarterback onto the ground? Taking down either Will Howard or Drew Aller for the majority of the night tonight. Those are big, strong, sturdy guys in the pocket for the Steelers. It's one thing to get pressure, and we've got a lot of guys with great pressure rates over the years. You need some sack production as well. And I think Colin Oliver is one of the guys who might be really scratching and trying to fight for a roster spot and convince them to keep him over maybe a Brent Cox or somebody that's been there a couple more years.
Those guys opposite Van Ness are all fighting for the depth chart. Like, where are they going to be? Like Dennis Sutton, Sorrell,
right?
Oliver, and
Brenton Cox in there. I think Cox is again. I think he's for sure on the team. I think he's locked in, but you never know. Maybe Aaron Mosby has made it the last couple of years.
I was just going to say, Aaron Mosby seems to make plays in preseason, and he pops, and then you just don't hear from him.
And then completely invisible. But he has been on a lot of teams. So for those last spots, Drew, especially with the changing of kickoff rules and Cam Acord coming in, we don't know how many guys they'll allow him to not necessarily protect, but know that this guy is going to be a core member of our special teams on all four. Does this guy get a little bit of a leg up? Another couple, the Georgia Bulldogs from a year ago on the interior of the defensive line. Nazir Stackhouse played a lot more than Warren Brinson did in 2025. Warren Brinson has been phenomenal in camp, dominating on one-on-one pass rushes, looks to have really gotten a sudden burst to his game and growing into his body a little bit more as a 24-year-old, 6'5", 315. He's not the run stuffer and the nose that Stackhouse is. But I think Brinson can play potentially all three downs, and I'm excited to see how he is able to follow up the camp that he's had, as well as Anthony Campbell, who's been really, really impressive on the inside, because I think those guys get a lot of run. Jordan Riley still working himself back from injury. Javon Hargrave still working back. He's not going to play. I mentioned Devontae Wyatt probably not going to play. So those guys on the defensive tackle spot, there's probably 3 jobs available there, Drew. Those guys are going to play a ton. And Anthony Campbell has been one of the Ray Nitschke All-Stars. Let's see if he becomes one of the preseason All-Stars here tonight, too.
Very well could be. Anything else on the plate?
Final one here for you in the secondary. One guy asked us yesterday at our conversation in Madison about Catano Ladapo. But I really like that guy.
Okay.
I like his size and stature when we draft him, but I haven't seen him at all. Well, you're going to see him tonight. He's going to play. He's going to play a lot. The third-year man out of Oregon State. He's sitting and slated right behind Javon Bullard for the second nickel back spot. And with Javon Bullard down, Javon Bullard also mentioned, like, listen, I don't really know. We got a lot of vets in here. I don't really know that we got to be playing here. They will be heavily rotated in, and you'll see a large amount, I would assume, of Catano Ladapo on defense. We've seen him a lot on special teams. Excited to see him with an extended run because he's an intriguing body type there, Drew. Much different size than Bullard at 6'2", over 220. And if you're going to be playing in between the tackles and inside the box, a lot of times you're looking for that kind of size. So Catano Ladapo is the last one on defense that I'm very excited to watch tonight.
Pretty cool. Kicking game, like long snapper. Orzik's still out, right? So
yeah, Orzik's still out. Your boy Cal had walked into the locker or into the Hudson Center a couple of days ago, then came back out. So I think he's all good to go. I will be interested to see how many times they manufacture kicking opportunities.
Yeah,
right. Like if it's 4th and 1,
they're kicking.
No chance you're going for it, right? Like they're doing anything and everything to be able to get chances for him on the field. And you talk about handshake agreements with the coaching staffs. Wonder if there's also a moment where it's like, hey, we really got to see this guy. Out of all the times, if there's one time that we want to go full go, let's make sure it's in the kicking game because we want to make sure that this operation is rolling.
St. Juice is another guy we got to watch.
to see how much he ends up playing, Drew. If
Is he knocking on the door?
But the thing is with St. Juste, he has played so much ball before, right? With 3 different stops. I wonder what is necessarily learned from him going up against some of the second teamers. But Carrington Valentine being down has definitely opened that door up.
Yeah. You got to like his size, right?
And St. Juste is a core special teamer, right? Like the 6'3", 200-pounder. He was here for a lot of the special teams, and we'll see if he sneaks his way onto the field. But Cisse is going to get a lot of baptism by fire, I would assume, also on that opposite side.
I think it'll be fun to watch him for sure. Yeah, and a lot of people want to know. Obviously we mentioned Marshawn Lloyd. Can he get it going and stay healthy and all those things? Waiting for him to be a big factor.
Damian Martinez is going to be the running back to enjoy the late into the night.
Oh yeah,
that's the last one.
That's might be one of the last ones. And Damian Martinez runs.
He's this year's Anaconda,
north and south, straight into somebody's chest. So I'm excited to see how Martinez rolls. The second-year guy from Miami.
I want to see how Anthony Belton responds. Like, he's had a tough camp so far.
He has, and he's going to go up against some real dudes because he's going to be playing mostly offensive tackle, right? I think he's going to be playing mostly right tackle in after Baco Bawele's done. Maybe it's Darian Kennard gets the first run over there, but it appears Belton has been pushed out of the competition for the guard spot, and Burton and Monk, how they rotate in with right guard, maybe a little bit of left guard with no Aaron Banks, and then who ends up taking the next center reps, Drew? Because one of them is going to win the job, I would assume, and then the other one's going to be the backup center. Or they're just going to rotate at right guard with Burton and Monk for the first 5 weeks like they've done a number of different times. Oh, yeah. I don't know a lot is going to be decided with them yet, but you want to see how they all play and how well they play. One other name on the offensive line, drafted last year, John Williams from Cincinnati. Full redshirt year in his first season with the Packers. He was dinged up on IR all last year. He has played all 5 spots. 73 has been all over the place. First day in pads, first day on the practice field, he's snapping. I mean, what the hell's the backup tackle doing snapping? He's gone all over the place, and he's looked adequate at all of them. I'm excited to see how John Williams plays, and I assume he'll get a lot of run.
All right, we love versatility. That's a good thing.
One guy I've not heard a lot about is Sean Ryan, because they signed him to a deal. Like, we didn't think he'd be with the Packers. Now he's the center for a while. How's he playing, and who is his immediate backup?
He's looked really steady, Drew. He's been one of the most impressive guys in the offensive line room so far during camp, and his pass rushing reps have been really, really good. I think it's either Burton or Monk, and I think it's going to be whoever loses the guard job, right? Like, I think that's going to be the way they go. But again, this is the same team that was just handing over and trying to rip John Runyon job away a couple of years ago. They'll rotate guards all year long, so I wouldn't be surprised if that continues to roll.
Burton the guy? Is he the Bulaga that just walks in as a rookie, starts, and then stays for 10 years? Because it feels like he could be that guy.
It feels like the closest thing that they have to one.
Like, he could be that guy that just.
He had his first play in team on Tuesday. He rolls off on a guard tackle power off to the right, and kick out beautifully off to the defensive end. He rolls up for, I think it was Cooper. It was Cooper on the inside, and just flattens him. Takes him right onto the ground, pours a little syrup on the pancake, then helps him on up. That's the guy that you're anticipating and hoping that they got. We'll have to see more consistency, because he's definitely gotten beaten a number of different times. But when Matt LaFleur and they haven't put pads on in the offseason camp says, yeah, he's gonna push to be on the field, I think he's got the best chance. But don't look now. Jacob Monk has looked really, really good this camp. So,
I like
third-year guy. I'll be interested to see if they get
Pour a little syrup. I love that.
That's
good.
And here I channeled Bulaga, but I could have had the more recent example, because when Bulaga was hurt, Bakhtiari started as a rookie and never gave up the job, right?
Amen.
So,
yes.
Corey Lindsley kind of did.
And that was a family night injury.
He took
well,
over.
And they drafted
did.
Lindsley knowing he was going to have to be the starting center, basically. We're going to draft a guy in the 5th round and let him roll. And played at Ohio State. Should be okay.
That's what, exactly.
Should be okay.
You figure he's going to be good, so.
Yeah. But then, they had.
It's Saturday, right? Wasn't it Jeff Saturday's? And then he kind of.
No, Ivan Dietrich Smith took over.
Was that it? Okay.
No, but Corey Lindsley, who was their son? Oh, J.C. Tretter. So Corey Lindsley got in when Tretter got hurt.
And started all 16 games his rookie year. Yep.
So yeah, Lindsley,
that's right.
I remember that because he didn't play any preseason, had like very little work with the ones, and everybody thought, oh man. And then I remember saying, well, the guy played at Ohio State in front of 100,000 people.
He was thrust
He
in
should
there.
be okay.
Figure it out.
And he was okay. So,
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. He was okay.
that's right. That was all things that happen in the preseason. Things shake out. When you have what are we going to do with all these guys? We worry about it every year. How are they going to get him through waivers? He gets through waivers. How,
finds a way through.
What are we going to do? We got too many good players at this position. 2 of them get hurt, and then suddenly you're looking for some help at that position.
Well,
like, that's just happened.
They placed him on injured reserve, J.C. Treader, with the designation to return, and they returned him in November and didn't play him because Corey Lindsey wasn't handing over that job as one of the best offensive lines they ever had in 2014. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Really good.
Sitting, Lang, Bach. My God.
This portion of the program has been brought to you by our friends at Game Day Men's Health. Check them out online if you've not done it yet. Make it a point to do it. Now we're getting out of summer, so the whole get in shape for summer thing is pretty much gone. But get in shape anytime. Do it now. If you're going on a winter trip, you got now to get in shape. You want to make it your goal to lose weight by New Year's, and then you don't have to do a New Year's resolution to lose weight and get in shape. They can help you with that and a variety of things at Game Day Men's Health. Check them out at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. When we come back, we'll close up shop. We will have our wake and bake story for you from happyplacehemp.com. And one final look as we prime the pump and get ready for Packers Steelers. The journey begins tonight in Pittsburgh. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Time for a little waking and bacon in the huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armin. You got Snoop tonight. Makes me think. Do Snoop and Lil Wayne have a bet on tonight's game? Snoop, the Steelers fan from when he was a kid.
Good question.
Wayne is the Packers fan. A friendly wager?
Yeah, I think probably 4 or 5 rolled up.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Is that ultimately what it's going to be? I mean, you want to sit down with a couple of legends of the Happy Place Hemp game. Those two would be
very well
right at the top of the list.
But it is preseason. I think they're even aware. Like, that's another thing I think about.
Snoop?
Really?
Oh, Snoop knows. Snoop's probably got a lot of his kids playing in preseason games.
Probably, yeah.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Keyshawn Nixon from the Snoop Football League.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's always watching the Packers.
No question. All right, time for our Wake and Bake story. Brought to us by HappyPlaceHemp.com, the best CBD products anywhere. You'll find them right there, HappyPlaceHemp.com. Store in Muskego. Talk to Rob and Chris, big fans of the show. And they make the best products you'll find. Buy them with a discount, 25% off and free shipping using the code HUDDLE, either in person at the store off College Avenue, or you can do it right online. Couldn't be easier. They ship everywhere, 25% off free shipping. Load up at HappyPlaceHemp.com. Billy, what's our Wake and Bake story?
So this is a beautiful precedent-setting move in college sports. What matters more, the player or the brand? And whose brand is bigger? Jaden Daniels, Commanders quarterback, through his attorney, has informed Louisiana State University, shortly known as LSU, can no longer use Daniels' name, image, or likeness after the school allowed another player to wear the number 5 jersey. Daniels has felt disrespected by the move. In a letter listed from his attorney, Adam Kenner, to LSU, they do not necessarily mention the number in the official court document that was sent to the folks in Baton Rouge and AD at LSU. However, it has nothing to say about using the number 5 jersey, but the claim is that they must immediately cease and desist from any further use, display, publication, distribution, promotion, commercialization, or any other exploitation of Mr. Daniels' name, image, or likeness in any matter or medium. This because Daniels apparently doesn't feel like he's got the same respect that Joe Burrow did, Drew, for winning the Heisman Trophy and having his number 9 not yet retired at LSU. Just nobody has worn the number 9 since Joey B.
Right.
Maybe led the greatest college offense and greatest college football team to a national championship and also won the Heisman Trophy. But Jaden Daniels feels like that 9-3 year, and statistically one of the best years a college quarterback has had, needs a little bit more respect than some sophomore cornerback DJ Pickett wearing the number 5 jersey that Daniels last wore for the 3rd Heisman Trophy winner in LSU's illustrious football history.
Oh my!
Isn't this an interesting situation? We talk about retired numbers and things like that. And this one, apparently it was promised to the recruit by Brian Kelly. And I guess Lane didn't want to take it away from him because he considered it someone else's promise, but he didn't know of anything like that. So he's kind of absolved himself of the situation. But getting this emotional over a number, because when you say, all right, no more promotion like this of me, okay, then we're taking down every exhibit honoring you, right? Isn't that kind of what he's saying?
It also, I mean, you could go on the flip side if you're LSU and say, okay, Jaden Daniels, when you make any more of your quarterback documentaries or any other publication that you are in, we cannot be.
You can't
use our brand as well.
You can't even talk about us. You know, there's ways to go about this. So it is pretty interesting. And I kind of like, is it really, he's a young guy, so I don't know what he's going to think of this decision in 10, 20 years. Like, is it worth it to get that emotional over a number? And it's hard to not use numbers anymore anyway in college. Now, you say guys will double up in college or numbers will double up in college. Like, I get it. You won the Heisman. You want to be loved by them. I don't know that, like, getting this upset over someone else wearing a number is the way to go.
The
but hey,
statement reads from Daniels' spokesperson, the Daniels family is deeply disappointed and feels profoundly disrespected by LSU's decision to give Jaden's number to another player. Jaden and his family had every reason to believe that his number would remain a meaningful part of LSU's legacy and would be honored and protected in recognition for his extraordinary contributions to the university. Jaden made it clear that he did not want his number given to another player, and he believed his wishes would be respected. His Heisman Trophy winning season and everything he accomplished on and off the field cemented a place in LSU history. to see his number given to another player is incredibly disappointing and feels like a failure to honor the significance of what Jaden accomplished at LSU.
Wow.
That's a hell of a way to look at it.
Yeah.
When you also now are only in your third year in the NFL.
Third year.
Like, I mean, this is making a legacy move, Drew, at 25. That's a heck of a play.
Heck of a ballsy play.
Heck of a play by Jaden Daniels. But hey, we'll see how it plays out. As once again, now anything in college football, we wait for the courts to be able to decide the fate.
Yeah,
I think it's a hard reality to realize sometimes, and this is a human thing. Like, there were those before you, and there are going to be more after you.
But in the world of NIL and name, image, and likeness, there's a lot of players that will believe the brand that they bring to an establishment might be more significant, is just as important as whatever the other logo is. We'll see. This is a good test study, because LSU is as prominent of a college football brand as there is in the world.
For sure.
Fascinating to see.
HappyPlaceHemp.com, code Huddle, 25% off and free shipping no matter where you are. They ship everywhere in the state of Wisconsin and other states. So check them out, HappyPlaceHemp.com. Russell Westbrook retiring after 18 years in the NBA, Mr. Triple-Double. How many MVPs did he have? Two?
One, I think.
One MVP. Yes.
No
Top
rings.
75 player of all time, though.
One of the great ringless players in recent memory.
He's in that group. Two-time scoring champ, 3-time assist leader. Wow.
All defense.
All defensive team once. Yes.
Yeah.
Top 75 anniversary team.
Great player, no rings.
Yeah. And one that apparently LeBron James desperately didn't want to play with.
Yeah.
Said, no, thanks. I'll leave before I have to deal with that nonsense again.
We're going to do this show again at 5. But before that, we'll have Packers OT. Let's enjoy the game. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.